All gone, people. Yeah, man, quick and fast. Welcome to the show. We'll be right back.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Yeah, man, people, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Weekends triple treat. Yeah, man, we jump out back in the studio. You know, I think, yesterday we did on a live still, and we just did a vibe, and we say it never did that go long, and the live go like 3 hours because the topic did hot, people. Welcome to my new subscribers. Big up yourself. Thank you very much for joining the channel. And this is where you get the latest in content, Reggae Boy football, and also track and field from an international standpoint. Big up on yourself. So if you are watching now and it's the first time, don't be afraid to subscribe. Yeah, man, this is a place to be. You can also like the video, share the content. Big up the people on Facebook, always there, peeking in now and again. You know what I mean? Bless up yourself. And people, we're here to talk about an interesting topic. Two topic we really want to touch. Cause really, um, thought the topic yesterday. Really did want to delve in it on the weekend here, but things kind of changed because coming yesterday, I'm saying, we're gonna chat about it based on my takeaway from the whole what you call it, the press conference. You understand? So yeah, man, that's what the thing said. So now, take away from the manifesto presentation. Me can't tell you, Me can't tell you already. And you have sometimes some people say, which people say that, which people say this. Me can't tell based on where we are here, the people are not too convinced, or they are not sold on this new manifesto that was presented by RSA team, Cataract, your credibility, your street cred, your ultra cred. It looked like it take time shift because the people them say them can't believe you're gonna run as upon one of the slate them. You get what I say? So your credibility, your street cred cataract. It gone. The people them not like that move there. People them said that move there. That move there already. People them said that move there. Kind of chicken out the thing. Yeah, man. Corey go the people them say you this the ultra final cataract. Because you're the ultra boss, and the ultra boss gone on a team. This is what the people are saying, cataract. As the ultra boss, you're gone on a team that openly, most of his members are anti. I don't want to use the Z word, but they're anti-diaspora in terms of the makeup of the national team. Understand? And the ultras, they must say, you never link them up and make them know, say, no meeting no go on with you and the ultras to really sit and come to some sort of conclusion or decision in terms of go run pon the RSA, Raymond Anderson, slate, read solid action. And the name is ironic, you know. Yeah, man, the whole of the people ever say it, brain drain. Big up yourself, brain drain. The whole of the ultras that must roll out today. I say, yo, the ultra boss, this the team ultra. Man, they say you're not ultra again, boss, man. Man, they say you're this team ultra. So, I don't know if you want to come answer, you get sold by the fact say a man say he want to win World Cup. And realistically, that individual, based on the manifesto that was presented, I mean, you talk say some bombshell I got drop, cataract. Me wait. Well, I am waiting with a bated breath to see those bombshells that you are saying that will drop. So, ultras, you have to come face the music, people. Remember, say, yeah, the sound one, So you have to come face the melody of the music where ring out right now. You see me I say? So we also want to talk. Them say him sell him soul too. So I sell soul and the curry goat thing. Boy, I sell out the curry goat, sell him soul. And what them could have tell him, so it can't be the wanting to win the World Cup. That alone sell cataract. You know the clip boss I go roll out with something, Big up yourself, clip boss. When you say cataract sound lock off, or other sound they play over the R. Probably other sound they play over the RSA, you understand? So they can't say that sound they lock off, So they get that sound they get whole heap, a year player now. The video is blurry. Probably at the camera. The camera try to pick me up, Me not too camera worthy right now. So camera try to pick me up. What you call it? James Smith. Let me check my device to see if I saw it or see. Because I just see it a while ago and it come off. Camera try to pick me up. Oh no, nothing wrong if we still look a blurred vision right now. Nothing wrong with that still, Fear spot, what go on? Fear spot, man, a long time we don't see around here no fear spot. See, we all qualify and then something in a fear spot. What go on? Man, in a fear spot. Big up yourself, same way. Your brain drain there in a comment section, brain drain the board. Duckland in the building. Pastor Duckland in the building. The real wrench boss bout here. Badness it name. Drew Fortis. Big up yourself. AKA Drew Ross. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. Oh, it a show blur for true. But nothing wrong with look a blur vision, James Smith. Yeah, man. The camera. I don't know what go on this. So. What you say? 86,000 K. Yeah, man. 86,000 K drop, man. All right, so I don't know why it a blur right now, but also people we're gonna be talking about Whisper's dad. Based on that interview though we said last evening. Yeah, man, upon the center circle. Center circle. We are gonna have a little talk on it too, So definitely that's something to talk about. We have to big up Reggae Boyz senior men's team captain, Andre Blake. Big up Andre Blake. Andre Blake did something remarkable. He had a coaching clinic, and to be specific, goalkeeper clinic. I mean, it was exceptional over 2 days, and I think that deserve a round of applause. Yeah, man, big up Andre Blake, outstanding goalkeeper, and for you to be giving back. I remember some of these things that we spoke about, and in the heights of his career, Andre decided to do something like this. Him now wait till him retire. You see me I say, wait until him retire. Him basically do it right now. You understand? So big up to Andre Blake. That is a good move, and that is commendable. You get what I say? So big up to him on that. That was the a clap. Clap where I clap him, man. Clap him. Very, very, very good work there from Andre. You understand? Okay. So, yeah, people. Hold on. I'm looking at the camera. It a fix up. The blur a fix up. Long time we not turn on the camera, so we don't know. Anyways, that are the least of the conversation. Once you can hear me, me not have no problem. So, people, based on the manifesto today, you want me play like a piece of manifesto or we don't have to play it? People, do we have to play the manifesto? Because even in talking about this manifesto, we definitely also want the incumbent to roll out their manifesto, because we have to hear what is what and give our constructive criticism on these things. So if they need to go and fix things, they need to go and fix it. You understand? So, all right, let me see if we can play it right now. Hold on. Yo, this a phone a real banger, Real banger. Eco Rigs, big up yourself. The man said that the manifesto could have stay. So, coach, when we never did as a cataract and no platform, a campaign, yeah, man. Let me tell people, big man thing, Cataract tell me say him a go deal with the thing, because Rayante. Seeing? I say, big man, do your thing, But one thing me I say, one thing me can tell you, do not bring no politics on the thing for my channel. And we don't see him.
We are doing things that compliant to FIFA,
Here what go on.
CONCACAF. We're going to ask Danny to ensure that our parishes
Hold on.
and the other
And I
stakeholders,
start.
my sister over there, Jackie, and I'm sure my daughter came in. I don't sure it's some image like she. Jan, are you here? Well, so, yeah, no, she don't afraid to say that anytime, and it's not it for life, right? So really, good evening, everyone. Doc, I say there, and the chief himself, Sir Will, Chris, both Chris, Strokes and Will, they're very close to me. All right, try and chill, but friends and colleagues, thank you to make this decision to join us on what we believe is a game-changing occasion. I come before you this evening with a commitment to integrity, transparency, and efficiency, and to lead a team with the capacity to fulfill the objective we have pledged to pursue. Foremost among the challenges faced the JFF is that over the last 6 years, the Federation have been operating under restricted funding mandate from the International Football Federation, FIFA. Please recognize that the restricted is due primarily for poor reporting and accountability over that period. This have imposed numerous constraints on the JFF to pursue meaningful development objectives. In fact, the Federation have been unable to meet some of its basic obligations, which has resulted in unseemly public dispute with some of the key stakeholders, namely players. The current administration enjoy very little trust among the various stakeholders. Trust is essential to efficient running of any venture. And ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I want to repeat, trust is essential for the efficient running of any venture. The JFF is no exception of this rule. Trust loss is often hard to restore. Rebuilding trust is almost kind of putting Humpty Dumpty back together. You understand? We therefore have no alternative but to replace this regime. We neither have the time nor the resources to do otherwise. The administration needs to go, not because it is comprised of evildoers, but simple because Jamaica football cannot, and I repeat, cannot continue in this current state. Trust, ladies and gentlemen, impinges on everything we do. Corporate sponsor will not support us, our program, if they do not trust us. That is why the administration has failed to garner any sustainable, substantial support from corporate Jamaica. The public will not stand behind the team unconditionally in the absence of trust. And our players will not be able to perform to the highest level if they are not confident with the administration. Under the current administration, we qualified twice for the Women's World Cup, but we have done so by overcoming unnecessary obstacles, which were brought about by inefficiency, incompetence, and lack of trust in the administration.
So JFF inefficient.
This continues
and there's no
even
trust.
to today, 4 months after we complete the World Cup, 4 months after, we still have problem with trust, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man, that's why I ask so much question in the something there, because him is modus operandi, because he's the campaign manager, is to throw questions at the incumbent as rough or hard as possible, so that you can put them out there in the forefront. So yeah, that is it. Brownman Security.
Logically, question
What?
to ask
Logically?
is, where
Hold on. What is that? Logically? Logically? What is logically? Me know say my vocabulary no so. I'm gonna Google that word. Hold on.
are you not apart? 4 months after we complete the World Cup, 4 months after, we still have problem with trust, ladies and gentlemen. Logically,
What is logically?
question to ask is, were you not a part of the administration? Why didn't you
What is
do
logically?
something? My simple answer is twofold. I was a member of the team, but not a part of the inner circle that make most of these decisions. It is for the same reason why I have put myself up as a candidate for the Jamaica Football Federation president. I want to be in a position where I can make decisions based on reasons assessment. Also, I have a close-up view of JFF operation. I am not new to football. I will not need any form of apprenticeship, period, once I become president. I knew what it needs and have the team to make it happen. I'll tell you more about the team sometime later. Working with and all the stakeholders will ensure that the achievement of 1998, 2019, 2023 serve as a catalyst for the development of the beautiful game in our beloved Jamaica. Let me be clear, we will build on anything and all the policies that are beneficial to the football program that may exist now. We will not be in any breaking down to rebuild. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 present a unanimous opportunity for Jamaican football. And I mentioned 2026, as you all aware, 2026 is our next World Cup. Now, we will only be required to just be there, play as hard as we can, and we will try. Only thing will happen with us is if we do something drastically wrong not to qualify for the next World Cup. 3 additional talent that abound totally, locally, and diaspora-wise internationally, I dream of ultimate victory at the highest level over the next 2 World Cup cycles. Ladies and gentlemen, this, I must say to you, is not a dream alone. My team, which includes the slate and the extended team, will ensure that this happens. Yes, I dream Jamaica will win the World Cup within the next week. Which include the slate and the extended team, will ensure that this happens. Yes, I dream Jamaica will win the World Cup within the next week. Let me remind
In the next 2 years, him say.
you, this is not the typical political promise. This is a promise that my team as a slate will ensure that it's not only a promise, but we will promise you that it will happen. Don't forget that 4 months ago, we have a team that drew with some powerhouse team, not once, but 2 powerhouse team. The Reggae Girls went to the round of 16. Nobody, or most people, did not know. I didn't believe that they will make it there, but it done. That means it is possible. Friends, yes, we can. Yes, we will go to the World Cup. I urge voters to join my
I urge voters He said he urged voters. See, but listen, people. Logistically. The last time Mr. Raymond and this came on my show, people, the next day we do a show saying flop and people think say, oh, we are this and all of them, something there. The man I represent. So cataract was sold because of a dream. Eh? Yo, listen, I want to go and listen to some more people. Because right now, this is not logical at all.
Team in the journey of achieving this dream. Ladies and gentlemen, again, and friends, family, this is a commitment from the team that I led, that we will go to the World Cup. I want to say it over and over, and I want to leave here tonight saying it over and over and over again. But I don't know if I should continue, Madam MC, to just introduce the slate, the team. I saw it's too full. Well,
It's not a trap, Rob Smith. But
before I start, I'll tell you a little thing about the slate, and then I'll just compound on it.
tell you a little thing about
When I
slate and then compound.
we're thinking of putting my, not my heart, myself. I went to some of the movers in the football circle. Wayne, Pearson, Mark, Danny, Chris, and some others. And I told them about what they're planning. And before I move, I said I could not move if I did not get the blessing from Kasafa. And the reason for that is that over the years, and I mean all the years, one of the main problems that we have with the sport is the most successful parish or confederation, always. And not a shot at your mouth, but always there's some form of conflicting thing with Kasafa. And I tell myself that I cannot continue. I cannot really lead an organization where the most successful parish or confederate zone is not in sync or supportive of my organization. So I went to them and they gave me their blessing. The others gave me their blessing, but they asked me why looking and hidden for people. Because where I saw the JFS at, we know that it cannot happen with us alone inside. We need to have people from the in and from the out. So what I done, I went around and I asked of people to serve. Some really were thinking about it, while some give us a resounding yes. And we continue down that line. So we just didn't just pick the slate. We looked for a campaign team. And I must tell you also, getting that campaign team is not only just the slate, but you have committees, you have people who you want to work. That if and when you're successful, you hit the ground running. You don't have to wait. Some people said 100 days, but from day one, you can start to achieve things because you're there planning going forward. Right, Mr. Wills? Yes. All right. So allow me, I'm in extreme proud and confident as I present to you the team who will lead the sound of trust, integrity, administrative efficiency, and enjoyment of good Jamaica football. We begin with our vice presidential candidates. And Mistress Jacqueline Cummins God Martin. Hi, Jackie.
How is this? Before we hear the name of the other people, how is this team seen as an efficient team? Somebody can help me out in the comment section, now, please. Seriously, wanna tell me how is this an efficient team? When you see what me tell Mr. Speedboat today, where you have the leader at the head, we're not something there. Listen to me, you could have 1,000 man around you. We're brilliant like AI. Or the man will write the program for AI. You know, make no sense. No sense. Cause if you have communications person there and the communications person write the thing and the person who write it is the person who's going to read it still cannot make an oration that is going to be impactful to the mass. That don't make no sense. I don't know. Probably me I think about it too much. That me I say Jason. Make we hear the name of the other people and Vice President Jacqueline Cummings.
Before I continue with Jackie, when we spoke with Jackie, Jack said, listen, I know you want us to look at the female side of the sport, but I will be a vice president of the JFF, not only for female, but a vice president. I also want to warn you, if there's any problem, hanky-panky, if you move away from what you have told us, integrity, trust, good governance, I, Jackie Cummings, will be the whistleblower. That's what Jackie told me. And I said, Jackie, don't worry. We will comply with everything. So Ms. Cummings bring to the table, she was a part of the Jamaica Football Federation Disciplinary Committee. She's an attorney at law and a very good one too, because she keep us in line, right, Jackie? Jackie will bring highly respected legal skill and knowledge of football regulation to the decision to be taken to move the sport forward. With all this, Jackie will also be the person who will have responsibility for women development in all aspects of the sport. Jackie again. Donald Beckford. Danny is here. All right. So Danny Beckford, president of St. Anne Football Association, veteran administrator, and recently he's out the general secretary for I think it's the leading club in Jamaica. Correct, Chris? No? No, well, with the champion club, I'm just really want to make sure I choose my words, sir. The champion club, the reigning champion club in the Premier League, Mount Pleasant. He's the general secretary there. Danny will continue his passionate representation on the need of parishes, which we know will be integral in the execution of many of our policies. He will also include grant for parishes. He will also ensure that the parish association mirror what we are doing at the JFF level. We are doing things that compliant to FIFA, CONCACAF. We're gonna ask Danny to ensure that our parishes and the other stakeholders complying just like what they have done to FIFA. So Danny's job will be very active to ensure that we're on top of things. Mr. Keith Wellington. president of ISA and principal of the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. I know Keith will be extremely valuable in our very important and game-changing youth development plan. It would be true to say that his experience will be highly valuable in this crucial era. He will also ensure or include education side of the youth, the grassroots development, and the technical side of the JFF. Keith again, welcome. Mr. Arvell Powell. Thank you, sir.
Former
owner, Montego Bay United Club, and owner of West Pow Park. Arvell knowledge of the dynamic club football and the requirement for the development of club is all here.
In the chat,
will be beneficial to our team.
Don't send a CM message.
Arvell also, ladies and gentlemen, in the new PFJL, Arvell was one of the architects in getting the MOU signed from both clubs and the JFF. So where we're at now with the Premier League, moving from strength to strength, Arvell was one of the architects for that. Arvell will ensure that the infrastructural development throughout the landscape of Jamaica, the zone, and the parishes will be taken care by Arvell. I can tell her, if you call on him now, I'm ready to be able to ensure that I said the lay of the land, he can level the land. So Arvell is a person who will guide us down that line also. Directors, other directors, Carol Beckford, hi, Carol. Carol Beckford, communication, marketing, public relation specialist, and business of sport consultant. Carol immense expertise in this era is well needed, especially in improving the internal and external communication of the JFF. And you'll agree with me that. She also, we are expecting Carol to get the JFF marketing department up and running like an oil machine. Dave? You know this way. Mr. Whitcliffe Dave Cameron, former president and Cricket West Indies, finance specialist and sport administrator. Still cap him. Not here, that's right.
Chevron,
I must tell you a little about Dave also, though, because you might hear another person somewhere saying a cricketer coming to football. In some other circle, I don't remember where, but I heard it somewhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just on the record, we have two presidents that was in cricket. And we have two JFF presidents. And we are also at present, we have a parish president who is also a president for that parish for cricket also. But I'll just go further with that, ladies and gentlemen, is that some years ago you might heard about this patty shop thing and thing like that. Don't you heard that? And when there was this internal or labor or dispute with players and the JFF, Dave Cameron chaired that committee that put an amicable ending to that negotiation. Dave ensured that players and the JFF come together as one, and we are benefiting now with that, what Dave lead us to. So I'm saying, Dave Cameron from now we're on restriction. This restriction costing us to all of our program, or most of our program is on standstill because of the restriction, because of the lack of accountability and the lack of reporting to an extent.
How your phone the freeze up? Tell us that phone there sample phone, you know. But people, honestly, me not think me I go me don't want to listen no more. Honestly. Me don't know you know good for my ears at all. You see me I say? So cranky. Okay. Cranky, just call in on the link there. Look like your phone have some issues right now. Your phone freeze up, people. Yo, this is something I can't listen to. Honestly, I mean, this a man. You see me I say? Yeah, man, I this no man, but I can't listen this. No further. No further. And you know, so we have to go get Cataract on the show now because Cranky, just use the link for in the meantime. Siobhan, what about?
Yeah, sorry, coach. Good night, everybody. Sorry, I can't turn on my camera. I'm still there at work.
Hold on. Do you think, man?
Yeah, I can't really turn on the camera. I'm there at work, and then kind of forbid the camera in the workplace. Yeah, like, all right. So the whole manifesto thing. From the them I read out them team. From I saw one person go on the podium. My mind basically shut off, honestly. Because I remember a couple of interviews that individual had, and the way that he spoke, it wasn't conducive to a growing federation. The way he spoke, he was speaking as if it's 1997 or 1996, so we're trying to qualify for 1998. So I looked at that and I was like, if I was undecided, that particular manifesto did not help me try to decide or try to sway my mind or anyway. I'm not sure the only persons there that the one person there I would say is particular somewhat competent in my opinion would be Keith Wellington. I'm not sure if he brought him in for his expertise with Issa. I'm assuming that's the case. If it's footballing reason, I don't really see the main difference because Issa was being run in a very, what I call it, profitable margin even before he came in. Because from the Woolmer's, I can't remember what his name was. The Woolmer's principal was the president at the time.
Walton
Issa,
Smart.
yeah, Issa was still profitable. So I don't think Mr. Wellington is the one that really made Issa this big marketable entity right now.
So he would have inherited a
successful
very
company.
Successful, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
So
like
it's just
somebody
for him to
take
maintain it and take it a little bit further.
exactly. So I know the main reason why you would have probably have used went for him is because there's a lot of what I
Who,
call it now
me?
corporate. No man,
Me?
them and no man,
Oh,
no you man.
no, but you have to
I
be
kind of
specific, people.
I
More,
know.
hey,
All right.
yeah, man, you have to be specific, man. I don't want no alignment, you know. Cause I
So
care alone, I care got alignments that.
so I can understand why Mr. Anderson might want to go for him for corporate interest because persons will look upon it and say, yo, this man is running Issa. Issa is this and Issa is that. But I mean, persons who really follow football to that, because a lot of
Mm.
persons who really follow football,
Now,
because
sports.
I've watched I've been to a lot of football games, and the persons who really and truly are into football, they don't fully agree with Issa. I never knew it was this big. There are a lot of persons who are saying that
Yo,
they
how
think
can I
that
support United? They're fucking shit.
uh,
Every match.
coach that I play alone, you
Yeah, man. Sorry, I some things may I delete off my phone so I
know.
can't get the space.
Yeah. So it when I saw watching the manifesto, I mean, it wasn't the. I don't think it was delivered properly. Um, and there's one thing that stood out to me as well. We know in the past a lot of persons that always questions Mr. Speed's conflict of interest,
Mm.
but Mr. Anderson was celebrating. What's it? I think three different conflict of interest on his slate. Main one, Danny Beckford from Saint Anne. He was
Mm.
literally celebrating him being the president of Saint Anne, while also being what was it the technical that what do you call it the post he had at Mount Pleasant,
Gensec.
the general secretary of Mount Pleasant, and he will also be a part of. So isn't that also a conflict of interest? Like something I wonder if them actually think about what them actually do. But but the main thing for me that stood out, the individual, I'm not going to call his name, from I saw him go up there, because I think you interviewed him as well. But when I saw his,
Arville
when I,
Pauliata.
when I can't remember the name,
You're afraid to call him, man.
when I saw that individual on stage, I was like, all right, I definitely could not support this individual because he has already said, he has already made his intentions.
Mm.
He's of the belief that we don't need players that were not born in Jamaica. We don't need them. He has said that. He has the belief that the players here currently are good enough to take our national team to the next level. I don't know. I know that he sold his stake in Montego Bay, but he still owns the ground that Mobe uses. So, but to me, I don't see it, and for me, I don't think it was a good play to try to persuade. But I mean, we're not the voters, so we're not the ones that they really need to persuade anyway.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But Chevron, before you get into the manifesto, me see you make a comment in the comment section because me never know say you do some work with the current administration,
No, me I
right?
work with Simon.
Me learned that recently.
Me I work with Simon.
In a matter. In a matter. All right. So you were terms an agent.
Yeah,
That term was used
on this
in
show.
reference to what you were doing because you were working with Simon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the same man we call you out
Mm-hmm.
is what is the same man where hey, me have to call cataract tonight, you know, I have some whole question because right now the ultras they out and the ultras them not happy. You see me I say?
Man, you remember the show when you
So
come on and call me out,
how
coach?
you feel about it? Yeah. So me I say, how you
I
feel about it now for years? Say, a man a run a political campaign right now.
honestly I was a bit shocked when Manizman had told me. Um, because I heard about it some time ago. But I was honestly shocked. I was like, and it's not really the fact that he's on the slate. It was because of the fact, like, I think a week or 2 weeks earlier than when I heard, he came on here and he attacked me for being a mouthpiece for the JFF. I'm an agent, a sellout, and all of that. And then to see this come up now, it was kind of confusing. But I mean,
But it
political.
not really confusing still, because it is really showing us that Cataract really dislike this current administration. And once there's a team to get them out, he might go up on a team there. But it's conflicting now because of what that team is about and them present their manifesto. It cannot be only the dream of winning the World Cup. That really,
Yeah,
you see me I say?
that was a next conflict too, coach. Because what I know, I've seen Cataract almost go to tears. Not even almost. I've seen Cataract gone to tears because he felt that players in the diaspora weren't being treated fairly. But no, the team that he's on, they kind of display a feeling that they're not too fond with going to an airport and getting players. They prefer the players being here. So it's kind of surprising, I guess. I I don't want to comment on anything because I don't want nobody attack me again. But it's just puzzling.
Man talk that, but
Huh?
yeah, talk about it already, Siobhan, so might as well.
Yeah,
You're
there's a two
talking on it
skills.
already.
It's just funny. It is funny. When I heard it first time, I was surprised. Seeing that now, seeing even what happened yesterday, you can see that he's really deep into the whole situation because he almost attacked Mr. Chung yesterday at the press
The
conference.
man he almost attack you.
What you say?
Well, me hear correctly. Yes, Siobhan.
Hold on, the connection dropped a while ago, coach.
Where they gone? The money attack you at the press conference?
No, man, he must say the way the man almost attacked Mr. Chung.
Not my connection.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump off and jump on.
If you're going to where's the Rap Smith a different avenue in my deal with that now. Cause Click Boss have him under pressure, you know. But yeah, Siobhan.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, we did a year a long time. I don't know why you jump off.
Yeah, connection, man. So yeah, what me I said the attack that the verbal attack that we saw yesterday at the press conference, you could see that it was kind of personal. The line of questioning, it got to a point where it felt as though you could watching from, because I wasn't at the press conference yesterday, unfortunately. The line of questioning, I could feel the tension even while watching over YouTube. Like literally, like when we talk to persons, they must say like the room did kind of tense at that particular time that they had to cut it. And then again, that is a next conflict of interest on Cataract side because him can't be a political person, a political, what do I call it now? Be on the team of a political aspect and also a journalist at the same time.
Okay.
So that itself is a next conflict of interest.
Wanna think Rap Smith, you think Siobhan onto something? Cataract will beat conflict of interest. Is a journalist and also the campaign manager. a matter of fact, he represents Dre anywhere. Sports.
Yeah. That's the
And
man big
he's
in a
also the
suit.
campaign manager for RSA team. Is that conflict of interest, people?
That's
Go on,
why.
Siobhan. Keep talking. The people are going to write them response in the comment section.
Yeah, it's a big conflict of interest. Well, to me, I think it's a big conflict of interest. So I know them are gonna address it because I'm seeing him today, like up front in the big suit. At first, I never see Cataract in a suit. Seeing him almost in front of the camera with the suit, it's like him make everybody say, nah, hide it. So it's a bit, I'm not gonna say concerning, it's just a bit puzzling to see where his political side lies. As what you say, it could be that his opposition to the current administration is so strong that he feels that he needs to do what he needs to do to get them out. But I just think that is if his effort would have been best served on another team. Because again, you hear all the bells and the whistles from Mr. Anderson's team, but he has been there for 37 years. I don't care what nobody want to say he was just the vice president, blah, blah, blah. He was there when all the laws were written. He was there when all this was being done. But all of a sudden, now that he's an opponent of the current admin, he's finding faults with all of those flaws. He's finding flaws
Yeah,
in
but
everything that
remember,
was
he
there.
said that he was at a point or position where he was pushed out. So he couldn't make decision or help in the decision making because
All
of
right, you remember that? All right, you remember that big interview that not no that big leak that kind of brought up this whole YouTube influence in Jamaican football with Damian Lowe,
say that
who
again.
was the
Whenever you the
you
first.
remember you remember that infamous leak that
Yeah,
happened
yeah. Mm-hmm.
with Damian Lowe.
Yeah.
Who was the main person from the JFF that everybody would remember from that particular league?
Party shop, man.
All right. And he was the one who made those comments, right?
No, man. A Bruce
Bruce
Gainer make
Gainer,
them
yeah,
comment.
yeah, Bruce Gainer, but he was on it, right?
Yeah, him did it. Him did it. Him did it.
So
Him, Roy Simpson, Prezi, and Bruce Gainer. Yeah.
so he was there with all of them problems there happen, and you can see that he had a big role at that. So even if he was pushed out recently, a year or so ago now, could it be that because they saw where he might have been challenging them, so them don't want him close to them, so he can have because coach, me know say for hypothetically, say you are Manning's man, I got challenge for something right now.
Mm.
You not go on Manning's man 2-2 round you all the while. But just in case you have something
Well, on
planned.
me the road man is man all the while.
No, but just I say if you were, but just I
Yeah,
say
man, we
if
get
you
the yeah,
were,
say
you not go want him around you.
hypothetically.
So
Mm.
you not so if the current admin, which I want nobody
In
believe
other
say
words,
I am so
Siobhan, battle lines had to be drawn, basically.
yeah, it had to be drawn. It's not so you can't expect for you to challenge me for my job. And then me still there on you every single day and we are seal up and we are say, yo, go on my no. Because it shows that you don't respect me enough, you don't respect the work with me I do. I mean that's fine enough, because if you don't believe I'm doing a good enough job, then fine. But when it comes down to battle lines, you're not gonna see me close up with you again.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So
You
what you
hear me,
think about the
coach?
manifesto? Yeah, man, we are here, man.
Yeah, this gone again.
Cranky, welcome to the show.
Good night, coach.
Good night, Crank.
You can't hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself in trouble tonight.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll get myself in enough trouble tonight. So,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be a hypocrite tonight,
Yeah.
a deliberate hypocrite. Yeah, You hear me come on this program and say people shouldn't beat people because I don't believe in the beating thing.
Yeah, you're gonna beat tonight. Take out the
Why
whip.
am I tell a coach? Why am I tell a coach? Coach, I'm sorry, coach. But I don't like the beating thing. I'm not think nobody forget beating. But I tell a coach, I can't camouflage this. I can't camouflage this. I was listening to your program and you playing something, coach. I'm gonna tell you, my head start hurt me. Now, I'm not gonna blame people who have aspirations and goals and dream of achieving certain things in life. So each of us could want to be president of the JFF. But I'm more critical of the people who surround you and actually want you to lead them. So they say, show me a company. I said, I'll tell me who you are. And if you are having somebody to be your leader, who clearly people, and people gonna say you're elitist, I don't care, clearly doesn't know the English language. It's a challenge. The English language has eluded you. And every 2 words you say, I cringe. And I'm trying to imagine you in front of a FIFA audience giving a presentation, in front of CONCACAF, representing the national country as the head of an organization, which is going to be, and it's going to be broadcast worldwide, and I cringe. That's beaten, coach. And I'm standing by my beaten. I'm sorry. You heard me that said to Rudolph today on Manning's Man program, coach, that problem I have, the JFF has no competition. And you get complacent when you have no competition. And when it's clear and obvious that the competition you supposedly have was probably part of your organization and get exacerbated by the person not having what I deem to be the skill set to operate in the capacity that they're pursuing, that's a problem. And because somebody's eloquent and articulate doesn't mean they're effective.
Right.
But at least the optics look good. And you get some kind of comfort saying they may be smart, they have charisma, they exhibit leadership quality, they come across well, I can understand them. You listen to this, I was listening to it, and every word the person said, I'm like, does the person realize what they're saying? I was jotting down words. Where's my thing? I was jotting down my phone.
Logically.
Unanimous. When the person means we have a unanimous opportunity. You know what unanimous mean, people? That's a consensus. That means, we all agree. That means it doesn't mean it's unique. Unanimous opportunity doesn't connect. They don't align. So you walk away saying, if I am a person, I'm an attorney or whatever skill set I've developed, and this person's going to lead me? Really? So I am disappointed, I must tell you. Extremely disappointed. And it's not, and guys, it's not funny, It's not funny because this person supposedly have 14 votes, as Pete was saying. How do you 14 people who are electoral, who are going to be part of the election process, select this person to lead you? Like, are you out of your mind?
But Cranky, the man say I'm going to talk a little about the persons who are going to represent the slate and then compound on them. I know that the man
beat them over the, go beat them.
I explain.
Wait, beat them over the head. I mean that. Wait. Beat them over the head, or him go add them up, or him go add to them. What is he trying to say? We not understand. You know what? You can make a comedy show that is presented. It's a good comedy show.
Frankie, why you think me stop
Good comedy show.
Why you think me stop it? Me don't want to listen no more. No more.
I boss Thomas, me no call nobody dons. Can me a disrespect dons if me say that. Me no call nobody dons. Me no call nobody dons. Me no call nobody dons. Me no call nobody dons either. Because me no want nobody say me call people dons.
Cranky.
Yeah.
Cranky, were you able to listen to the entire manifesto?
No, I heard components of it, parts of it. I didn't hear the entire thing, no. I heard about the woman thing and the vice president and the aspiration to win the World Cup and the timeline for win the World Cup. So we should all start celebrating now because it's right around the corner.
2 years.
I am more surprised. So here's the problem you have with this whole situation, guys. The person has been by the way, this is a vice president for the JFF. Let me repeat.
Yes.
This is a vice president for the JFF for the last 18 years.
Hold on,
So they've
Cranky.
been
Cranky, hold on. Richard Green, even if somebody, and I can tell you that speech must have been written by someone, even if somebody wrote the speech, he's not capable and able to deliver it. And that's the problem, you know?
So Richard, here's the problem, Richard. If somebody writes you a speech, you should be able to critique the speech. You should have enough knowledge and understanding of the English language to be able to critique and say, make changes. If somebody gives me a speech, I'm going to take it. I'm going to make changes to the speech to fit what I'm trying to convey, right? So no excuses for who the writer was. Maybe we should also question the people who are surround the person making the speech, because they should be saying, you're not qualified to write a speech for me because you don't understand the meaning of words that you're utilizing. We all can make mistake about one or two words in terms of the meaning, and it may not apply directly, but should align some way with what we're trying to say. But when you're using words continuously, which are totally separate and distinct from what you mean, that cannot be good. So you get judged by the optics more than anything else, right? You get judged by what you hear. You get judged by what you see. You get judged by what comes across the table at you or through the screen at you. And you're going to assess that person's capability based on those things. It may not necessarily be fair, but that's all you have to go by. And frankly, when I heard it, I was embarrassed for the person speaking. That's how bad I saw that. Embarrassed for the person speaking. And that's the leader. This is not some delegate. This is not some person who is running in one of the functions or discipline the person wants. And I'm surprised at some people who would then join that team and not realizing that the person going to lead me may not be qualified to lead. I have been saying this continuously since I spoke to the person on Minz's program previously that I wasn't impressed. Tonight, substantiate that, why I wasn't impressed. And until somebody can tell you the truth in your circle and tell you the truth, then you're just going to keep embarrassing yourself.
Cranky.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know this might be a bit far-fetched to some extent, but my honest opinion, I don't believe Mr. Anderson is what would you call it, the main person. I just believe they're using him as like what I call it. They're using him so that they could gain influence, because when you look at some of the persons that he has that has joined up with him, right? You can see a lot of those persons would consider a bit competent in our business world to some extent. And I have to wonder, have those persons do those persons actually believe that Mr. Anderson is the right person for the position? Or they believe that use him to get into the federation and then by time try to navigate myself up to the top to make changes at that way. Because remember, we have said that the to get into the JFF it's difficult because we have all wanted change. So maybe go with Mr. Anderson, find a way with him, and then once we get in, we just go with our actual plan. Because what you just said a while ago makes perfect sense. The persons around him, you have to question what's really their motive. The manifesto that they gave, it literally made no sense. I'm going to be brutally honest. Having an elite local squad. Somebody made a comment on Management show earlier, and it's a very good question. Are they going to take Bowser and Leon Bailey from England and have them in a camp at Jamaica?
Yeah.
So it has to be questioned. So I think somebody should question the team coach. So if you can get Cataract, the campaign manager, it would be a great asset. Believe me.
Here's the problem we have, guys, which is when you don't know, you don't know, and that's the most difficult thing, right? When you lack the ability to assess yourself and your competence and your skill set and what qualities you have and what strengths you have and what development needs you have and how that is going to be portrayed in any environment, how that's going to be received, then you're in a very challenging situation. Because unless the people around you can explain that to you, because obviously you can't see it, and if they're going to be yes people, and if they're going to want to be just because they want to put team, as you're saying, which is get involved and influence in the program, then that's sad. Because even though I think Ricketts is an absent president of the JFF, Ricketts sounds pretty intelligent. Ricketts have certain skill sets and qualities which come across the screen and you can equate to, and you can say, yeah, makes sense. I still think you're an upset president. You're never involved in the difficult conversations. You want to please everybody. But it shows that you have some qualities which one can say, you know what? They seem like leadership qualities. There is nothing about this person that gave me any comfort that this person can lead the JFF. Nothing. And that's damning, sorry. And I'm perturbed and upset and sad for some people who are part of that administration or that team, because they should know better and they should do better. And anybody who elects those people to be the president of JFF don't like Jamaica football. We are trying to improve in all aspects. The product on the field, the marketing, the sponsorship, the engagement model, the leadership. And if one of those don't work really well, it's a deficit. But the most important thing you need is the administration and the leadership of the program that are strategic, that are deductive, that can provide guidance, can help you achieve your goals. If they don't know what they're doing, how are you going to be able to? It's just, coach, me not understand, coach. Me confused, coach. Me confused, coach. I don't get it. I want the JFF to have competition, but not like this.
Not this.
This has to be better. Not this, not this.
No, it cannot be this.
We want them to have competition so that, you know what? If they don't do what they're supposed to do, they get kicked out and replace them with people who are going to do better. But this is not competition. This is a joke. That's why they're not concerned, because they know it's a joke.
You're right about that. I mean, the manifesto, it lacks action, and yet still it is said that it is real solid action.
But coach, you can't even listen to the manifesto because you can't listen to the person, coach. You can't hear the manifesto. You can't listen to the person because you're just saying the person presenting it. First of all, it's not substantive as it should be. It's aspirational. It doesn't even make sense, some of it. It's not well thought out. It was rushed to market, it appears. It didn't get the scrutiny it needs to get. It didn't get the challenge it needs to get. And therefore, you won't have the best manifesto out there to really make it differentiate itself from what we do today and what we're going to do going forward. And then the person presenting it doesn't fit the role. Right? The clothes, if you're going to think about clothes, you go to a tailor, that it doesn't fit. Taylor did a poor job. Got to go back to the drawing board, coach. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, coach. It's sad, coach. It's sad. The JFF must be smiling because they know what they were up against. And you know what, coach? I start a conspiracy theory. It's a plan, coach. It's a plan. All of them in this. I tell you, no, coach. Right and left hand, no. All of them in this together. It's a smoke screen. They don't want to change what I'm doing. I bet him finding way back in the JFF. I bet him come up with something saying why I belong by JFF. Because I can't competition this. No, man, I joke thing this. This cannot be the competition.
But coach, it's concerning still, because we, the actual fans, we know what we currently have in the administration, right? And then we look at the potential opponent. And we're looking at both sides and we're just saying, it's like you look on two evil and you have to try to determine which one of the evil you will stick with.
No, I wouldn't call it evil, you know.
About that evil something there, no.
No, I use analogy evil. May I say, I don't know what to compare it to. I don't know what analogy to utilize to use to provide a perspective on this. I don't know.
Cranky, you know, you're probably on to something with that conspiracy there. It can't.
Coach, how can it be anything else?
It can't be nothing else, Cranky. It can't be.
It can't come with any logical rationale.
No, Mr. Porter. No, don't go there, so Mr. Porter. Remember, we the people cannot vote, you know. We the people have to just analyze what we see and what is happening. And what we are saying, yes, the JFF needs challenger. Didn't you hear Cranky and myself say that on Chevron? But this is too easy, Mr. Porter.
You know what I should do? Coach,
This
I
is
should do?
too easy.
Coach, let him and Ricky go debate. Let him and Ricky go debate. Ricky's go debate.
You have a
Let him
job,
go
I
debate.
know.
Go present the manifesto and let them go debate. Yeah. Okay, you look at the JFF team. The JFF team is not a bad team. You know, they have people on there that appear to be knowledgeable. They just don't do the right thing most of the time that they should be doing the right thing.
Hold
Right?
on.
But
We have cataract in our house. Cataract
thank the
forward
Lord.
and
Thank the
center.
Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
Right
Thank
now,
the Lord.
cataract.
Thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. You blessed
I'm here,
us.
Cataract.
but
Yeah, come in.
Right now,
Come in.
you're there in front of panelists of judges. Because first of all, one man depend the panel. Oh man, run gone together.
Let there be light. Let there be light. We need light. We don't need no darkness. Not this. Nobody nothing hide. Come in that light. Come in that light. Come in that light. Come in that light.
No. I've been a little migraine, but I believe it's important.
Me I have migraine too. After the presentation, me that have migraine too. Me that have migraine too.
You better have migraine after the presentation there. Anyways, one man.
No. Let's get to the
Cataract,
point.
Cataract, hold on. No. This is a badness show this name tonight, you know.
So let's get to the point.
So,
Let's get to the point.
We can't get to your point if you attack. The point is that a man on the panel will say, yeah, beat him. That I first point where I start. Say I'm a double agent and I'm an agent of JFF. But now you gonna run on a slate that majority of the persons would say they prefer a local setup. And you're gonna run for a team like that.
So let me first say, I think I declared to you when I was making the decision, and I came live and I said to everybody, I am supporting Raymond Anderson. I listened. I have not seen any manifesto or any plan from Mr. Ricketts, and therefore I made my decision. So let me just tell you. So I am the campaign director for Raymond Anderson, in charge of his road program and campaign. Okay. Now, in relation to a double agent, I'm not in the JFF. I am outside of the JFF. And if you look at the slate put forward by Mr. Anderson, more than half of the slate are not, about half the slate, are not currently in football. So you have Valerie Cummings Martin, who was the recent former head of the Jamaica Bar Association. No, hold on, mate. Allow me to speak. You asked me a question.
No, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
Stan, you have.
We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We know that. We know who they
can't
are.
Tell me what you want to hear.
We know who they are. We don't want. Coach, we'll leave. Coach.
Sir,
come here and pontificate. We don't want to hear the nonsense.
It's not pontificating.
We'll leave.
I have listened to you pontificate.
When you come off, I will come on. When you come off, I will come on.
Cataract.
Because we don't want to hear the nonsense.
We don't want to hear that because we hear that already. That's all we are saying. We don't want to hear that again.
You ask me about why I'm supporting.
We know it's straight.
Support. You tell me the script that you want to hear there. Because if I'm not allowed to answer, and I've tried to be, I'm going to, in this interaction, be to the point and not my usual long run up self, and then you cut.
No, Cataract, just listen, man. You are going to tell us something that we already know, and we say we don't want to hear that. Just work with me, no, brother.
So, well, then if you know everything, what you need me for?
And we should do, we hear that from Mr. Anderson already. We don't want to hear it again.
No, and I'm suggesting to you respectfully
we that don't want to hear it again. Cataract. Why? What about that you don't understand?
So what you're asking me? You're telling me that the slate only want local players. That is not true.
But you're gonna
That's
give
not
with
true.
them
So
background. We
I
don't
am
want that.
no, no, no,
We
no,
don't
no.
want
I am pointing to you to what the persons have done that demonstrates that it is not true that they are persons who only want and may I go to the
All right,
scatter a
coach, can
player,
I ask a
so we have
question?
step
fine.
out.
Fine.
That
Coach,
Next
can I ask a
question.
question?
Next
is
question. Yeah,
so
next
here what
question. Next
I'm
Coach,
question.
all right, Tetarak, Shavan here. Wanted to ask a question. I think we were watching the same show
don't
when
want
one
me
of
to
the
answer you. I am supporting the team and I am a strong advocate of the
You see me I talk about people. You look like we have got kick cataract off our show, you know. I nobody ask him the question, you know. Because you can't cataract. Remember, say you run political campaign.
I'm
You
so you
can't
so you're
dictate.
saying no, you asked me a question.
Jesus Christ, we are going around. Virgin, we know they're not run about, you know. We know what. Just relax now. We don't answer nothing no more. Just listen what we are saying now. There's a question that is going to be asked.
No,
One question I go ask. Just listen to the answer.
I'm
Go
listening
ahead.
to the question.
yeah. So there's one particular person on your slate, Arville Powell. Um, I think we were both on a show one time where I think Coach was interviewing him, and there was a section of his show when he was criticizing the current JFF administration's idea of going out getting players from the diaspora, and his idea was that the model that Mr. Simoes used in 96, 97, where that's what we should be using. We don't need to go overseas to get players. And he didn't sugarcoat it. He said that if he had any form of power, he would not want to have anyone, this big thing to have any overseas based players coming in. And I remember there was a particular time when you were crying because you felt as though the current administration was
No, brother, don't
stifling.
no, no, don't do that. One time I ever cry on YouTube when under 20 get knocked out. So they don't make up story. And just coach say that alone a long roundabout thing. Make him just get to the point now. So
All
you
right.
ask me
So
how I'm on
how
a
are
team with
you?
Orville Powell? And I
Yeah, how are you now a supporter on the same team as Arville Powell with that viewpoint?
yes, and I'm saying to you that in politics, everybody does not have the same another road. I heading out on the road, so if it get a little spotty, everybody does not have the same point of view. What we have is a desire to have transparency in our football. We desire to have fairness, lack of conflict of interest, and we desire to go ahead and Jamaica win the World Cup. Women or men are under 20. And so with that as the aim, I am on board with that. And if you know anything, if anybody know anything about politics, there'll be people who have differing views. But the fact that Mr. Anderson is able to bring together persons who have different views, and be able to have us in a room where views contend and we come to some consensus view, it's clear. Now the rhetoric has been put out that if Mr. Anderson is selected, there'll be no English-based players or no overseas playing players, right? And that is absolute nonsense. He said clearly in his speech, his dream is for Jamaica to win a World Cup. Mr. Anderson is the only surviving member of the 1998 Captain Burrell administration that took us to France. And therefore, it would be ludicrous to believe that we are going to have a team without our best potential players in that team. However, he is strong about local development. He's strong about having a system of play that permeates across the island, that players can come and plug in, fit in, so that when we go to England, it's not, or we go to the US or we go to Spain, it's not like net fishing. You're looking for specific players who fit the system and style of play of Jamaica. That's where I would end that. But I want to put a myth. There is absolutely no truth. There might be people who have had that. We are clear that is
Internet now work properly.
You hear me, coach?
Him gonna get back, get back internet. Just a year.
You just hear me?
Yeah. Well, you know,
Oh, go on.
why you know look like you see?
Funny. It's funny. It's funny.
Me
Him
not,
say
me,
conflict of interest a while
me
ago.
not even
Still,
know what to say.
it's funny. Him say conflict of interest a while ago.
Cataract came to campaign on behalf of his client tonight on YouTube. I am not having it. Okay, I'm not having it. So, and that's why I don't go on program with Cataract anymore, because he likes to come on and we all like to talk. He goes on his own tangent and talks about things that is not part of what you're focused on, the topic you're focused on, and he dominates the conversation, but that's not what you're focused on.
Yeah,
It's okay
coach,
to
coach.
talk a bit.
Well,
I'm
coach,
gonna drop,
coach.
coach. I'm gonna drop.
on the
Later,
phone
coach.
line.
I just want to say something quickly because where I am. So jump off, man. I want to read to you. Or did you maybe not hear what was said by Mr. Anis in his speech at his manifesto? The talent bones. Look at that.
Let them send you the script, coach.
He has this dream that can do work.
In a
Cataract mobile.
It's not working. Coach is not working. Coach is not working.
Cataract mobile is come like Mr. Anderson manifesto today.
in 2 years.
To me,
2 years.
I'm calling.
Yeah. Yeah, data don't care. But I hear that. It
No.
is not okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying he said doing work up always years.
Coach, is that your phone? Because you're not coming in well either. Or maybe I'm not hearing right.
2 years. Well, that is full.
Can you hear well, CC?
Cranky?
No, coach, you're not coming in well, coach.
Coach, I think your internet will go down as well, coach. Your internet will go down as well, coach.
I think there's a knock-on effect from the problems you had with your guests. I think your guests knock out your internet. All that tripe talking knock out your internet. Jamaica not too licky star.
It sounds incoherent. It sounds incoherent because I'm not hearing anything. I hear.
Well, it should be incoherent. It's incoherent. The whole thing is incoherent. What the person was saying and what they're trying to provide is incoherent. And we just lost Minzy, so we'll just keep the show going. We heard the campaign manager for the JFF trying to articulate as to why he decided to join that team, not buying it. Here's my perspective why he's joined that team. I'm calling him out tonight. He had access on the Burrell. He didn't have access on the JFF. He's getting access here. In Jamaica, we're all about ourselves, and a lot of times, a lot of us are about ourselves. And it's all what we can get out of something, not what's best for the national interests. Not buying it. And I'm being straightforward, not pulling punches. It's all about what we can get out of something, and we'll do our darnest to be part of that situation so we can maximize what we can get out of it. Not buying Cataract and his justification and his alignment with this individual. Not buying it.
It's true that cranky, because that's the situation sometimes. Because, for example, for certain things, a man would, for example, I have said things that have been used against me to levy say, I am talking about a person, Cataract himself, and that use statement for say xenophobic and him something. So me I said to myself, say, when Shavana asked him, oh, you align yourself with people who are of this that similar nature, after you accuse CC of being of that nature, you know, which I'm speaking of from a point of view that local, if you don't have a player from that is locally developed in the team, it is about poor reflection on football in Jamaica or the state of football in Jamaica.
But CC, not only that, when he was explaining to me, answering my question, he stated a quote, conflict of interest, that he didn't agree with the conflict of interest that the JFF had before. When Mr. Danny Beckford is literally a conflict of interest, even bigger than Mr. Speed at this point. Because he is the General Secretary of Mount Pleasant, he is the St. Anne Parish Federation president, and now he's going to be... So isn't that a bigger conflict of interest than Mr. Speed?
Listen, as I said, to me, I said this long time ago on YouTube. Football in Jamaica is a secret society business, or a brotherhood, or something of the sort, because for some reason, as Cranky would say, everybody basically been doing things for themselves. I told coach and put up my name, you know. Can you see me have a new name, Coach Night, a Patriot? Because apparently, yeah, man. From last night, I get the name of Patriot because apparently the things that I'm saying are unpopular. But I don't really I say things because I want to stand out or anything like that. You have to say things because you know the truth, or you're saying it because of the reflection of how things are right now. Right now,
Cataract consult up the internet.
To be honest, I would, if I'm looking at both teams, right? The team that is currently in place is a team that I may very well. I'm not saying first of all, I'm gonna have a vote. I am not part of a campaign or anything like that. But then when I'm looking at everything that is already taking place, the team that is in place, we have things that we can see that was done under this team. We have things that are measurable, what we can see. They have done a lot of things that aren't, what would I say, they haven't run the ship well, but they have kept the ship afloat somehow. Even if them patch it up and it take time taking water, it's still floating. But the team that's trying to come in, everything is like, I think when Cranky did ask me a question, say, what have you done? What is your accomplishment? It's not like he couldn't give what is his accomplishment. And then when you look upon all of that now, you're saying, how can I take up and give this person another opportunity when everything that they're saying comes off as incoherent?
CC, the man has been in the St. Mary's Parish Association for over 30 years. It's been 18 years as JFF vice president. As Cataract says, he's been part of Burrell's World Cup administration. And in all that time, in all his tenure, in all his experience, he can point to 2 or 3 things, at a minimum, that he can take credit for, that he has led, that he has managed, that he's effectuated, that he's carried out, that under his purview has gone really, really well. And he can take credit for it. Doesn't mean that he has to execute all of it. He can, go ahead.
But Cranky, look on it, when Cataract did the on a line and I interview him, what did I do interview? Did he sounded as if he was with him? So what has changed? So
people do things. Yeah, it means that people do things for their own, just because of what they're trying to achieve. So you hear him come out and accuse Manningsman of certain things and calling up Manningsman when he was on the other side. But he didn't say he was on the other side, right? So you're being disingenuous. You're being a hypocrite when you do that. Because you're pretending that you're engaging Manningsman as a objective, independent party, and you want to bring transparency to the process. But what you are doing is trying to position your candidate to be in the best position to undermine the other organization and undermines Manningsman credibility. And that, to me, is not right. It doesn't put you in a good light when things have to come to light eventually now, which they are coming. And your candidate, who you're promoting, when you hear him speak, one has to question your judgment to be aligned with that person. Because you talk about this manifesto, which, we can all come up with manifestos, and some parts may be good, some parts may be bad. It doesn't really hold water. But the person who's going to lead the organization, who's going to be the face of the organization, who people expect to provide strategic direction and guidance and be the patriarch and going to be running it, when you look at that person, the substance is not there. And so therefore I question those who supposedly have all these great resumes who are aligned with that person. This is like working for a company now, and they say like a CEO. You're making a decision to align with that person. You're not restricted by some corporation that you joined, and by some situation, by what occurred, this person come in and start running it. You made a conscious decision to go align with that person and this organization. And I have to question you, because the person doesn't seem to have the skill set, the know-how, and even command of the language to articulate what you guys are trying to achieve and direction of travel. It is frustrating. Listen to this now, and then you come on here. Maybe Cataract should have been the one. I don't want to call Cataract name, because I tried not to call his name because he's frustrating. You know what I mean? Maybe he should. If he had done the presentation, he would have done a better job. There's no doubt about that. He probably should have been the spokesperson, because sometimes you hide leaders. They're figureheads. You put them in position to be successful. Put in position to be the best light. You guys don't like him. You do not like your leader. You're not supporting your leader. You're not put in the best position to be successful, because tonight was a disaster. And if you don't believe me, just go watch anyone who comment on this and provide a perspective. A total unmitigated disaster. As I said before, I try not to come on this program and beat people. I try to be objective and independent. And I've said the JFF is inept and incompetent a lot of times, but they seem like godsend compared to this group. At least what we see on the surface. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. Sorry, not buying it.
But you see, Cranky, this is why. Sometimes I look on things and I look and I say, maybe if it was easy up there presenting. But me I tell you, I can't understand for the life of me. There are certain things in the football that I think is blatantly obvious. And there are certain things that they just come out and say. I don't understand how, it's not very difficult for you to come out and state your position and what you're running on. For me, when this thing about manifesto not coming out, there will be a time. This will build up to manifesto. If I plan to do 10 things, I'm now wait for 2 months to come out and tell people what I plan to do. I talk from day one. So once you hear me say it, another person come and say it, then when me come again, I say, remember, I said this. The tapes are there. Clearly this person cannot run, because obviously that person is just copy and pasting from what I'm saying. So from the day one when the people ask, what is the manifesto? And the manifesto couldn't release because you're saying people probably steal it. Then it leads up to this anticipation. About I do about nothing, because, as I said before, the other team basically win right now, because there's no way after what transpired, people are going to take on to that.
Yeah. As I say, it's very disappointing. I was hoping that the JFF would get some real competition, because they need the competition. Frankly, they need to be replaced. I'm not happy with the JFF. The JFF has good people in it, good people with good skill set. So I don't know people enough to say they're good people, but they have people there who seem to have skill set and ability to get things done. They're just not cohesive. They don't coordinate well. They're probably hard to deal with. They've had a lot of problems, created a lot of problems. But we need real competition for the JFF, or people who can replace the JFF and do a better job. We don't need to have the same thing repeat itself. This team haven't demonstrated that they have the capability to provide a cohesive manifesto. Let's put it this way: a cohesive plan, strategic plan about how they're going to improve the football, where they're going to take the football. It's a bunch of stuff they put on paper to make to sound good, and then when they go deliver it, it's delivered poorly. And the person leading them cannot speak the English language.
And Cranky, this is something I know a lot of persons are. I've heard persons say that we should not go back to this, but I honestly cannot just ignore it. The person that's trying to run Jamaican football, the person that's trying to be the leader of Jamaican football, was once in charge and still has strong influence in St. Mary. And St. Mary right now doesn't even have a proper team. Don't have a proper league. And you're telling me that you want persons who are knowledgeable, persons who are competent enough to think for themselves, to believe that you can run an entire country's organization when your parish's league, the league for your parish, is almost nothing. Nobody, you never really hear nothing about it. So why should we come in? We don't have a vote, as what CC said, Cranky, and it's really concerning. So the persons who have the votes, our country's fate is in their hands. And I think a lot of us would agree that we don't really trust a lot of the persons that are currently in football. So if we don't trust the persons that are currently in football, just imagine we have to put our faith in them to choose the correct person to lead our football going forward.
This person, Megan or whatever the name is, Ben, is saying articulation equal intelligence. And
unequivocally, yes. Yes. Yes, I'll say that yes. So here's why it's yes, coach. Here's why it's yes, coach. The ability to take information, package the information, deliver the information in a discernible manner means you have to have some intelligence to be able to do that. That's why you see a lot of people who are in politics, because yes, they're intelligent. They may manipulate that intelligence to fool people and get their own way. But of course, they're intelligent. If you're going to tell me somebody's very articulate, but they're dumb, that's a contradiction. They may play dumb, they may be deceitful, but yes, of course, they're intelligent. So yes, Ben, I'm going to make that statement. And I can debate that statement with you whenever you want to. Doesn't mean they execute well, because you could be very intelligent, you could be strategic, but when you go have to do something, get it done, you don't do it well. So you may know football really well, but we go on the field and try to execute what you think you know or what you say you know, you may not do it well. Difference between me being smart, me being thoughtful, me being strategic, and then me being able to execute the thing that I espouse, of course. So I'm not going to take a step back to say articulation doesn't equate to intelligence.
But look on Maurizio Sarri, who had coached Napoli at one point in time. This man was a bank manager. He was a banker. Yeah, he never played football at a professional level or anything like that. And he was a very good manager.
And by the way, because you're not articulate doesn't mean you're not intelligent. That's another thing to be clear on. Because you're not articulate, it doesn't mean you're not intelligent. That's clear.
That is true. That is true.
However, let me say this though. If you're a seasoned person, if you're about 45, 50 years old, if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be the representative, you have to be able to put two words together to distribute information and be able to bring people along with you and articulate what you're saying. Some people have difficulty presenting themselves. They may get nervous. They may be challenged in that area. You know, when I was going through school, a lot of engineers weren't articulate, but they were brilliant people, right? Doesn't mean they're not smart. They just weren't versed. They didn't really care, actually. They wanted to be in their corner and do what they do, right?
But then,
but at the same time, if you're going to be in the role that the person is trying to get as being the president of JFF, the nature of the role requires you to be articulate. The nature of the role requires you to be a thinker. Requires you to be a thinker. Yes.
So yeah, go ahead, CC.
Yeah, that's where I was just. That's what I was just going to point out, Cranky. That you have persons who deal with operation side of it. The general secretary don't necessarily have to be articulate in nature, because the general secretary have to be more technical in nature and can deal with the operations of the business. But the president should be more articulate in nature rather than technical in because their job is basically to be the charismatic leader or the person who can get people together and get their job is bringing together people, as opposed to the person who is the general secretary whose job is to run the operation, ensure that it is profitable or that it is sustainable. So I mean, I think it's the roles so that they get mixed up. If you're going to be the president, you're going to be the person who is at the forefront. It's just like, for example, if you had a CEO.
One second, CC. If you're not speaking, please mute your mic because there's a lot of feedback. So I'm gonna mute mine.
Yeah, so I'm saying if you had a CEO, you have a CEO and you have a COO. You know, the CEO represents the company on the macro level. And the COO represents the micro level. So the COO represents the the daily operations of the business. The CEO kind of oversees it, But the CEO is basically the person who goes out there with the stakeholders, shake hands, meet with the different groups and everything for whatever they're doing. If they're raising capital, investing, all of that. The CEO now ensures that all of what the CEO wants to achieve is being put in place. It is being put in motion. So you're in charge of the operation aspect of the business, while the next person is in charge of the image of the business, the whole. So I think on that aspect, that person has to be an articulate person, has to have a way to get across their ideas and their strategy in a way where it grabs people, it grabs sponsors, it grabs the different stakeholders.
Hey,
but
hey, may I agree with the CC? May I agree with the Cranky? But here the part. I think this cataract did I try to explain, This is a part of the manifesto where you have local elite squads. So him say while scouting and recruiting successful diasporic players, we can certainly bolster our national team. It's equally essential to invest in our local players from the ground up. This increases our talent pool and offers a fair opportunity for the best players to be selected. This investment begins with dedicated local elite squads. Developing our homegrown talents not only strengthens the core of our national teams, but also increases the pool of Jamaican players competing and competitive international club leagues. And this is already happening because Al Grimson always have him local contingent when carrying a camp and do some work with them. But this seems as if it is going to be a situation where these players are going to be paid to be a part of the of the local squad. And if you're going into a JFF entity that quote unquote is struggling for cash, how will this be sustainable, Mr. Anderson? Talk to us about that. We want to hear.
Coach, do you have the manifesto? You have the manifesto. I want to read the entirety of it before I come.
No, me not have a pieces me I get. A pieces me I get.
Okay. They need to publish the entire manifesto so we can all read it, discern it, and then provide perspective on it.
Coach, you see the point that you just raised in terms of local elite and everything. Coach, this is why I'm tell you say, you see, anytime Ketara come again, I'm gonna say, see, anytime I'm speaking, I realize him jump on and the very same. I'm not about the local elite thing, I was the one.
I was one of the ones that stated that we need to invest in our local football in such a way where the players can become a part of the discussion to have the best players available. These players will not be staying in Jamaica though.
they would probably develop up to a point where they're 17, 18, and they get an opportunity to go to Europe and higher leagues. So even though they're local, their development does not finish in Jamaica, but they go overseas. The thing is, no, when those things are being said, there's
shove on that carpet.
Yeah, it's thrown under the carpet, and another side of the camp is saying, "Oh, you know what? No, diaspora play." Nobody.
No, CC, I don't agree with you, CC. I don't agree with you. I think everybody that I've encountered.
No, man, no, Cranky. When CC talking, then beat him down. Then beat him.
But the way CC presented, it's not what CC says. Probably presented. So here's the point. I don't think no one denies the fact that we need to develop the football in Jamaica. But you guys are starting in the middle.
Exactly.
We gotta get the administration right first, and then fix each of the things that informs that program. The players can't be good players unless they have good coaching. You may get one or two people come to the track, but you want a sustainable process whereby and produce a ton of players who have the ability to go play overseas and compete and be elite. But you need to get the coaches, the qualification of the coaches, so they can inform the players and coach them in the right way to develop them. So we jumped in this players thing and elite, but how are they going to get to be elite? They just go get elite by themselves?
Yeah, but then Cranky, I remember one time I said something about coaching, because I even said it on the radio about when you want to.
No, but hold on. Sorry to interject again, CC, but we see Morocco do something like this. I think we did do a video upon it. If we need to reach to a higher heights, first thing what Cranky say, we have to get the administration right, because if they are not right, then the plans that are put in place are the ideas that can help the football. It will not come to fruition because these persons will not go ahead and execute such action plans. So get the administration right. That's one. Two, you have to try and revamp the league, which is the local league, to ensure that it gets to a high standard. And that's what him say. John Wall said you have to ensure the local league becomes a professional league that is high quality and high standard, that we can always have players coming from that league. And them something that John Wall did talk about, you know. You understand? And we did say if we can use the whole ideas that is coming from a Morocco. What Morocco do, Morocco use people from the diaspora, you know. But also what Morocco do, Morocco fix their home league. They fix their domestic league to ensure that if there comes a point where the diaspora players can't make it, you can always pick players from your top league. And not only for that purpose, but to also brings attraction to the local league. So the football constantly rotate and develop. So players from the league are going to get contract to go overseas, and it will build the stock of Jamaica's football. That is what happened in Morocco. And if
coach, it's not just the league in a coach. So we're going to the league, which is important. But here's the thing. If you want to fix a problem, you got to fix the root cause, right? If you fix the symptom, it's not going to fix the problem. It may help, but it ain't going to fix the problem. So here's the view. If the administration gets to be right, I can tell you this. If I pick 10 of the best business leaders in Jamaica who are interested in football, they'd fix this. No doubt in my mind. They'd figure it out. They'd realize what all the things that I need to do to get this done, and they'd put process and system in place to execute against it. So here's the view. You can't fix the league without you have a supplement of players supply of players coming through the line to play in that league.
Yeah, but that is a part of it, fixing the league.
No, but when we say fix the league, meaning there are different things that informs that league between sponsorship, grassroots football. You talk in England about grassroots football, grassroots
coaching,
gotta fix
everything have to develop.
Coaching, players, infrastructure, sponsorship, all of those things need to be part of the whole equation. And so you need leadership who then can, identify people to run each of those things that informs that process, that program. And then you're going to have different people that you provide to those individuals to help them execute against that. We don't have that top-down approach and bottom-up approach. What we have is you go through each thing, and it's all about players, and we bring the players in from overseas and local, and they do well for a while, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. If CC saying, look, guys, which I don't disagree with, we have to invest in local football. I think everyone agrees with that, CC.
Mhm.
But here's the problem we have. We don't have people at the top who knows what they need to do to get this done. We are struggling with resources to get this done. And we have ready-made players. We can go do what we can't do, someone is doing for us. So we go borrow from them. But these people are actually want to be Jamaicans. They are Jamaicans when they get their passport. And they would love to play for the country. So if I have that at my disposal, what I need to do is broaden the pool by making sure I develop football in Jamaica. Broaden, and most importantly, CC, if people are overseas, the problem that people are overseas, look in the mirror. Because if they're better than what you have, that's why you select them, Why can't you compete with them? Why can't you get your people who have the same genetics to be as good as they are, better than them? That's the problem. The problem is not the overseas players. The problem is you. Fix yourself.
No, it's the same demographic. But I remember also, Cranky, when I was saying, infrastructure-wise, if we have 12 teams, we have 14 teams now in our league, give or take, if we had 12 teams in the league, you could have 4 stadiums and 3 teams per stadium, which is a 4 stadium that represents the team. Because in order to be a professional league, you have to play and train on different pitches. You have to train at one ground, and your match pitch cannot be the pitch that you train on and play on. You can't play the league on the same ground. From what me I watch English Premier League, I know Manchester United train at what? Carrington Road, and they play at Old Trafford. Chelsea train at Cobham, and they play at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal have them training ground, and I think that is one of the things that I was alluding to when I was saying you could have 4 stadium, 3 teams per stadium. If teams drop out, teams come up. So you would have proper pitches to play every week in, week out. You would see proper football. You also have to take into consideration the whole coaching aspect of it and investing in coaching. One, the JFF is responsible, yes, in terms of development of the football and everything. But if me want to be a teacher, I'm not going to wait for the government to send me to Michael Teachers College or Bethel or whichever teachers college. I would know that if I want to be a coach, if I can find out, say, these licenses are licenses that are accepted in CONCACAF region, then I find a way and go out and do those licenses. Even if I started, for example, get cranky, if I started at GC Foster and I got a job in sports and I could save some money towards it, then who can tell? There probably is a possibility to get some form of sponsorship if you wanted it and to go and get the requisite license. But when I presented, or one of the persons who presented it, people were saying at the end of the day, like, it's a whole lot of money, it's all of this, it's all of that. But then, and they were asking if you can, persons who drive were saying, and I said to them, if you don't have a license, if you can't show me a certificate to say that you are competent in this, then even if you can do it, there's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. Or there are methods in the teaching and in the lectures where you would not necessarily have, even if you will just probably learn on the job, while you have theoretical references and notes or everything other than that to go back to. So for me, I think it is one, coaches in Jamaica, they don't want to invest in themselves, and some of these coaches, from my perspective that I'm seeing it, they're waiting on the administration to put in something in place for them to get qualified or force them to get qualified. For example, when the administration would say, in order to coach in the JPL, you need CONCACAF B license then. And they would say that. So it now forces them to go and get X when you could have been ahead of the curve by getting your papers and doing what is necessary. So I just think that in the whole single-minded approach, there's a lot of silos going on, and those are the things, as I said, the infrastructure. which we don't take seriously. I don't think in our sporting culture, we don't consider infrastructure to be something that is necessary in the building of the different sports, especially football. Coaching education is something that we only recently cared about because our culture is winning. So I think all of those factors, as I mentioned, Cranky, has to be fixed in order for the football, the whole local development of football to go ahead. But my thing in local development is to say, fix the infrastructure, sort out the coaching education, sort out all of that at the ground level, from the primary school level coming up. Even on as I said, grassroots, which factors in even the local corner league and them, from the
So
grassroots
CC,
coming up, primary level coming up, high school level coming up, academies that are coming in. Fix all of those so we can more broaden the pool and have a brighter future. And it's not 5 years, it's like 10 to 15 years.
so CC.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So I'm saying that. No, I watched the stream earlier today with the whole manifesto, and it was so good to be true. Yeah, for me, because this man was alongside the president for the whole time, and to see him running against him, um, it's like a whole Ponzi scheme. Secondly, every time you hear the president talk or Mr. Anderson, they say that whichever way the election turns out, they'll still be good friends. So it made me wonder if this whole election thing is just like, bench and, what they would I say, bench and the whole beating.
It
Um,
fixed.
yeah. So my really have to wonder because had it been someone else outside of the JFF running for the whole presidency, then a more younger man, maybe like the Chris Williams or maybe the Owen Hill, I could say, well, then yes, these guys are more younger, have a fresh mind, but it's the same relic that was there from day one for 30 odd years around the football. And when the things that he's proposing now, you have to wonder why weren't these things proposing when he was alongside the president? He's now proposing all of these things.
But he said well, I'm not defend him still, but he said that persons are asking that very same question. And he said that he was not a part of the inner circle. So obviously might tell us quietly that there is a group
Within.
the JFF that is
Okay.
quote unquote the inner circle that are them make the
Okay.
decision. And he's
The
not a part of
fantastic. So like a Fantastic Four. Okay.
I don't know if a 4 or 5
So,
or
question,
Yeah.
so, coach, here's a question. What did he do as the person who represented St. Mary as part of the his Paris Association? What accomplishment has he done there?
He not do nothing. Remember, so we talk to him and he not do nothing,
But he's in the inner circle there because he runs it.
And
Right?
he still have
Exactly.
he's still up and about with them in terms of him still have talk with them right now.
So isn't that a convenient excuse to say I wasn't given access? First of all, if you're the 18 years as vice president, I'm laughing just thinking about it. 18 years is a long time to be vice president or coach, and you don't have a part of the inner circle at all. How do you retain that position? Why didn't you leave? If you had no access, no ability to influence decisions, why didn't you leave? Doesn't make sense to me. And how do you even retain that position without not being part of the association, the organization, to make decisions, to influence decisions, to execute decisions? I'm still struggling. I can't say I'm buying it. It doesn't look good from the outside, and it's not looking good from where I sit. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying good evening.
Yeah, Kishan, big up yourself.
Yes, coach. I want to have a say because when it comes down to these elections and football in general, especially the JFF, I kind of have a approach where I kind of lean on the fence in terms of I'm more conservative in terms of my opinions on them, because I feel like the vast majority of us Jamaicans, when we talk about the JFF, I think that a lot of stuff along the way is made up, and some of it is subjective to how we interpret it in terms of Mr. Ricketts and Mr. Anderson. Now, pertaining to his manifesto, I should say that some stuff that would be great if they could be accomplished, you know. And over the years, we've seen where promises have been made and not fulfilled. However, I feel like anyone that is supposed to win the election, we kind of have to give them a grace period to get these things done. I'm not saying they'll be easily accomplished. However, we have to support them in the endeavors of the Jamaican football, because if we don't support them, then who else will, you know? And we're the ones at the end of the day who have to hold them accountable, you know?
I mean, I agree.
We have no ability to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
We don't have the ability to hold them accountable.
But in terms of support, though, of course, anybody going power, you have to really support them, because they are going to be the governors of the football. Now, what we can do is to apply pressure if we see certain things that are not, and I'm not even talking about well, it has to go by whatever they present. We have to apply pressure as the fans, as persons of who sits in seats of influence, to ensure that they hold truth to all that they said that they will do. I mean, of course, in terms of patience has to be exercised as well, and we have to ensure that we hold them accountable for all that they say that they're going to do. So of course that has to happen, Kishan. The fact is that some things are able to be accomplished over a short-term period, some are long-term, and some are no-term. Because if like Mr. Anderson, who says that he wants to win World Cup, which is in 2026, do you believe that that is a target that is able to achieve in that time period?
No, obviously not, you know.
So
people are sold.
Who are these players that's going to help us win the World Cup? Where are those players? We're going to get Billingham, and we're going to get the Billingham, the rights to who are we getting to win World Cup in 2026?
We have a Cinderella story like Leicester City, but in a international way, you know.
You don't have you don't have Leicester City in World Cups, you know.
But then again, we don't have Jamie Vardy.
I don't think you can ever point to a World Cup we have a Leicester City. You may have a Croatia that gets to the Final Four. The winner always seems to be one of the big countries. Or in the final, the winner always seems to be the big country for some reason.
But
so doesn't mean it can never happen. Because Morocco, when somebody always go far in the World Cup, that's not expected.
Pertaining to coaching education, right? I feel like the onus should be on a lot of coaches to improve themselves and get the necessary license required to improve the football.
I said that last night. Whilst the JFF has that responsibility,
we have to stress the fact of the word education, coaching education in whatever you do, whether you're going to be a teacher, certified in being an electrician or whatever, the onus has to be on you to spend that money and go where you can get this license. And listen, I used to go to Bel Air, right? And I had this coach. At the time when I left, I don't know if he had a coaching license, right? But at this point, I'm assuming because the team has improved vastly, right, coach? And I remember going there and we couldn't make it out the group stage of the Costa Cup. Manchester would have slapped us up 10-0, 11, 12. And after I left the school, in the last 2 years, we made it out the group stage back to back. Now, I don't know if his PE skills improving. I'm going to get a license and he made education improve in that aspect, you know? But if it is, then that is a testament to the fact that the more you educate yourself on something, then the more you will accomplish something and achieve your goals in whatever you set out to, you know? So I don't feel like the JFF should be tasked with that responsibility. If they can give a helping hand in lending resources, etc., whatever the case is, then that would be amazing, you know?
I agree with you. Like I said, we said it yesterday afternoon in the other live that we had. Whilst JFF is implementing programs and proper procedures for the upskilling of coaches, the onus is on the coaches. I think they are too laid back and they sit down and want the federation to basically spoon feed them. So yeah, wait. So like say for example, unseen him doing D license, and him a wait for the C license come up so him can get a part of it. And not everybody is readily being enthused to be a part of it because there are selected few. You get what me I said? Talking about unseen, see him jump on ya. And when you look on, you want to, all right, so you get the unseen, get him C license now. Him want him B license. Him have to wait. Him have to go through a certain proper procedure. Whilst if you can latch on to programs elsewhere, you'll be able to upskill yourself, you'll be able to put yourself in a position where you get qualified. And it no matter if you do the B at Jamaica, or you do the C our next country, just go and do it because you're gonna learn something different. But probably something you never learn in the Jamaican one. So
But
you're right, Kishan. I mean the coaches have to take responsibility. I've seen in the track and field world where coaches get their education. Even though sometimes they have to wait, but me see some people kick down some door. Me talk it already here. So my first coaching license when me get, me have to kick down door. And me decide to say, me hear about this, you can't trick me now. From me hear about it, you can't go around me. Me I gonna make nice.
I mean, listen, coach, before I migrated, right? I remember, obviously, you reach an age where you can like become a footballer again, you know. However, you want to be in the game. So whether it's a therapist or something, physical therapist, you just want involved in the game. And I remember before leaving, I reached out to the Manchester FA, right? And I was asking them about the license situation, and they directed me to the JFF. And I remember calling the JFF and doing my adequate research and reaching out to them, and they gave me a location, whatever, told me how much it would cost, whatever the case is. This was like 5 years ago, and I went there and I did it. And eventually, a little while after that, I had left, so I didn't get to complete it, But I took that onus. The ownership was on me to go and get out there and find the information, And I remember the Manchester FA calling me one day and they say, "Hey, is this whatever?" And I was like, "Yes, this is me." And they were like, "You're the one in Manchester that's doing this." And I said this, and they were like, "Well, you know that for a long while, no one has ever done it from Manchester, though. So we're a bit surprised, So it has to be looked at as an investment in oneself to get that license and get the education to move yourself forward as an individual in whatever you're doing."
Coach Minzy, I want to say something about that same topic there, because when I talk it like it's just easy like that, like a 1, 2, 3. You understand me? While I understand and agree with some of the points where some of the coaches can do better, but in a Jamaica, when I look at the compensation package for coaching a football team, you can't survive with it. You have to do something else. You have to either teach, and sometimes a teaching job don't allow you to leave and go do them course here. So sometimes you have to just stay and kind of rely upon the JFF to come up with a course. Now, when JFF come up with a course, that's when I think the coaches will try to go out there and, as well, Kishan said a while ago, find out when the course them are doing and do them. Me can't just leave Jamaica so I have a permanent job and go elsewhere. So easy. You understand me? Because I teach differently. And I can't leave my teaching job for go to coaching alone because I get younger. The reality of Jamaica.
But you still have to have a plan unseen. Me get what you say. But sometimes you have to make a bold step and say, all right. I remember saying, if you make the bold step, you always gonna be a teacher, But you make that step that you get what? Qualified. Seem like when you leave high school and decide to go to college to go get qualified. You can put your teaching career on pause if you believe. I mean, I'm not gonna say a man for do it, I not encourage a man for do it, but you have to sit and make that decision on your own. If you say, all right, more and by the way, a lot of online courses are offered where educating coaches are concerned. So it doesn't necessarily mean so you have to just get up and leave your job as well unseen. There are a lot of online courses that are being offered. If I even want first level of coaching.
I feel always remember say certain things JFF really bypass, certain course JFF bypass and give access, you know. So yeah, you understand? If you go GC first, you do 2-year diploma or a degree, you still have to come back, don't come to C license. Yeah? While I think if you do a degree and a master's, you're supposed to go right up to the B. But you know what I mean? So there are some complications to this thing. And then so transparent for person just get into the system like that and just go do the coaching course. So transparent I kind of think. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why I'm advocating for persons to just take up them career in them on, because people have done it.
And then the next part of the problem is that most of the qualified coaches.
Look at the man where you got interview. The man step outside of Jamaica, Miguel Coley, and get himself qualified. Who to tell say that move the way did I go make? That move the way did I go make was one that would have given him these opportunities. Nobody know, but him decides say, I'm gonna make it. Him left, him walk away from him team where him a coach should be champion team.
But you have to look on the financial part of it as well. Suppose him can fund himself. With that. And carry him family as well.
Unseen, you find too much excuse.
When I find an excuse,
so unseen,
everybody can write the same story.
I know you're trying to give us the reality of people's circumstances, and don't disagree. It's very difficult for some people, given their situation. They may have family situation, the finances are not there. But I think if you want to achieve something, you have to figure out how to go about achieving that. And the obstacles should become opportunities. That's only going to encourage you to go out and get it done. Yeah. Right? So if you just are succumbing to your situation, you'll never achieve what you want to achieve or overcome what you want to overcome to achieve your objective. I have the situation now with somebody I'm talking to in Jamaica, I'm engaging with, whereby I have to just get perturbed and say, you just need to do something. Stop making excuses to me. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. I know how you operate. I know what your demeanor is. And I know what your capabilities are. Make it happen. Don't give me any more excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses. It's a family member. I'll help you, but I don't want to hear your excuses anymore. I'm done with the excuses. If you want to do X, Y, Z, and I know they can do it, and they give me their financial situation, which I do know about, but I also know they're not doing all they can to achieve their goal. They're just not. And so you may in your situation unseen. Go ahead.
Sorry.
You may in your situation unseen and think it's hopeless. And you think it's hopeless, but it's really not hopeless. You're just not thinking creatively.
No. I never said that.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just saying a person in general.
You're saying wanna be generally talk. And
they have a 9-to-5 job. They have kids at home. They have a wife to deal with, and they want to go get that B license. And you're saying, Coach, all these I cannot do it given given my situation and given my responsibilities. But you'll be amazed if you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out.
But cranky. One next thing to people and unseen is that you probably have to pencil out your plan and put it into perspective. You say your work, are you putting together some funds for upskilling to take that brave step? Some of these coaches have been coaching for years in a top position, and some people have not moved across the borders to do certain things. And you have to look on that too. You have to set your long-term goal. And see, let me talk, man. You have to set your long-term goal. You have to set your short-term goal. You see me I say?
So Ansi, you sound like you're providing
you have to make a decision.
Yeah, a lot of excuses unseen, and people are just closing their ears and saying, you know what? Especially, people who migrate unseen. Some people, difficult for some people. They migrate, they go live in some circumstances which they've never experienced in Jamaica. They had a better setup, but they have a goal they want to achieve. And they know staying in Jamaica will not achieve that goal. Even though they have to suffer, they have to suffer for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They know on a long-term basis, the benefit outweighs the challenges they're facing.
All right, so basically, what we're going to say now, I'm not finding any excuse for anybody to stay here and don't try to uplift themselves or go forward. What I try to tell you is that the rate of who no want the Jamaican coach and leave and go over, go find, go study and get better, it just not got.
What rate we spoke about unseen?
No.
What
so
rate?
Basically,
who spoke about rate?
Right. So you will find you will find 1 and 2. Say me, say Cranky want to go to the coaching course from Jamaica. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 person, but you're not gonna find a nucleus like 120, 130 coach. A fly go do it and everything there. Just not got me from Jamaica.
But if 5 man do it, we not say no. Duki never go.
Unseen.
Go
We want more than that.
Unseen.
Yeah, but
what if you reverse that?
Over.
So what if that 20 people unseen engage with JF and say, you know what? Why don't we all pull someone to bring the person to Jamaica and create the environment where they can provide the training versus going overseas? But I'm saying you got to come up with ways unseen to make it happen.
Yeah, but the JFF no, them just started no. So the problem
there's not one way to do things unseen. There's not one way to do things. There's different ways. You got to think outside the box. You got to figure out how to do it.
No,
and make it happen.
You talk about the JFF a while. I'm saying JFF just started now. No, you can no Speed, Thomas, Xavier Gilbert, Peart can teach the C license, right? And C license is the next step from the D, where you can go up to the B and then after that the A. You understand me? So it opened up now. Back in the days, level 2, level 1, level 2, not everybody could get through that. That means you know that too.
That's why I say sometimes you have to be.
But you know what?
Get on kick off door like what me do me kick off door, brother.
So and then you find out that almost all of the coaches and coach in Jamaica coach without a license because of the system there, level 1, level 2 system where they have FIFA level 1.
Well, my problem is this, and this is where I think the JFF deserve this is where the JFF need to get beaten upon. It's just like. And the coaches them have to go push the door like 50 I have to go down the door and the door can hold 50 people so it go pop down because the JFF is basically the gatekeeper for coaching education in for CONCACAF for Jamaica. Then if you have CONCACAF license and it is supposed to be, for example, like the UEFA license comes from the UEFA member federations. So the CONCACAF license come from the CONCACAF member federations. So them are the gatekeeper. If you have 50 persons who are coaching and aspiring to be trained coaches, then those 50 persons lobby the JFF. If they want to come in the media and say, oh, do you know that I've been coaching for the past 3 years and I've tried to access certain coaching courses to upskill myself. However, the JFF has not presented a course for the past 3 years for me to access this course. So if they are putting those things into, because for me, the JFF should have a course at least every 3 months. There should be a course for coaches to access to go and do so they can upskill themselves. So that is where I think the coaches now have to put it out there in the space. So the owners is on the JFF now to get together the things them required so them can come out and put these things out there. Because outside of that, what a coach will have to do, because all the system is now, you'd have to just leave the country and probably go into the US or another CONCACAF region where they're offering the licensing and do the courses there and get your license there and then come back into Jamaica and apply for a job. If a man give you a job now, you're a much more qualified coach now. So you have to pay more money. But I just think that the coaches need to put it in the space. Far too long unseen. The coach them now on a license and have no access to courses and nobody now said
All right. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying nobody's saying anything. Because it's like everybody just a coach in a one corner. Him get one corner league. I'm a coach at one primary school. I'm a coach at one high school. Them a coach at the high school them. And nobody not saying anything. For 10 years you're a coach. You not have no license. You get complacent, everything. And then when you hear now, say JFF have 1-2 program, and them only are called 20 people, and you're not selected. Yeah, because I'm not going the most. You should have put it out there and say, I have been coaching and I'm interested in getting my CONCACAF coaching license, but the Jamaica Football Federation has not presented courses or stuff.
So who them gonna put it out to? Who them gonna put it out to?
In the media.
Hey, well I know. So me know say unseen nah listen. One of my brethren were a coach. The man have him must a FIFA level 3 license, coaching license. And Jamaica in stay under that. And that never offered by JFF. So there are avenues out there for things to be done. But we can't sit down and say, yo, JFF now, we have to wait upon JFF. We can't go overseas because we have money, this and that, family. Virgin, everything in life we can do. It might not happen for a man where go school for turn doctor.
So the FIFA level 3 license, we're equivalent to.
You see where you're going to now?
Yeah, ask a question.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's me I say, what people understand is that things can happen, Virgin. A doctor will take 10 years because they fail. And a doctor will go one go. When the man will done the 10 year, finally, still is a doctor, Your journey does, if that journey does longer than the man will just do it one go. So it think can happen, Virgin.
Of course it can. But you just not gonna say 20 and 30 man.
But what I wonder, coach, what is the coaching culture like in Jamaica in terms of why are they so like reluctant? Is it that compared to like somebody who wants to become a professional footballer? Because in comparison to a coach and a professional footballer, somebody that is aspiring to like go to a top level, they will more seem they seem as if they're more to make a push, to go whether overseas or a regional country, whatever the case is, Whereas coaches in Jamaica, like, what is their aspiration? Is it to like say one day I want to coach in the MLS or like, or I'm just want to stay at primary school or go on and that's it, Because if the culture is like that for them, where they don't really want to come outside of the country, then a lot of them is not going to.
Most of the coaches them there.
Repeat.
Plus one next thing, me think said no for the coaches not believe in the whole certification thing. I think most of them are probably in the last days now people start latch on to it. I think they believe that they can coach vicariously. After no paper coach, no me I do. Let me tell you this. Me a coach long time, and when me go do certification, me realize some of the things that what me did do, it did a halfway right. But when you get it to the full now, what you gonna do? You must have a coach better, It's a must,
But then look into it. But then coach, say I think you mentioned FIFA level 3, maybe at FA level 3, because the FA have 5 levels the license thing. They have FA level 1, level 2. Level 3 is like the equivalent to you. Level 3 is UEFA B license. So if I get FA level 1, if I get FA level 2, then they reach FA level 3, you get the UEFA B license. But because each member federation give you them have them course. So the FA, England FA, which may probably that talk about a different thing. The England FA gives you do the course level 1, you do level 2. When you do level 3 now, level 3, you basically UEFA now, which is the Europe body. You apply to UEFA, you're eligible to get the UEFA B license because you would have passed level 3 from the FA. So I think if Jamaica thing is built in a way where I don't know how the curriculum are set up, but if they had level 1 and level 2, like Unseen did say before, level 1 and level 2 that they had, when based on how the curriculum set up, then that should have probably be equivalent to CONCACAF D. And then when I go to level 3 now, you get CONCACAF C. I don't know if that's how it's set up, but then based on what.
You don't have to do level 3 again because you just go straight to the C license.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this.
RD
They
license.
would have still at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5
Level 3 nobody in Jamaica.
Yeah, but that's why I said they should have had like different level courses where you qualify based. First of all, like level 1. Level 1 means over the age of 16, you can enter. You don't need to have no experience for the level 1. But then when you reach level 3 now, you need to actually be in charge of one team. So you can't just go. So it's just like you can't just apply for the level 3.
Apply. You have to have team. You
have to have a team. Like you have a team I play 11v11.
Coach.
Like you have coach under 14 team. And them I play 11v11. So I you mute coach.
I said me not really subscribe to that now. Once someone want to learn something, man, you know if you stop him, man.
Well, I say go.
Me know say I saw it go, but me I said me not agree with it. Me say once a man want to learn something, you're not supposed to stop it.
Me not agree with it.
But me know say I saw it thing set.
Listen, coach, if Francis
and everything me agree with it, you know.
If Francis Ngannou can walk miles in a desert and thing and accomplish what him accomplish, then any coach can accomplish what them can accomplish. You know?
Yeah.
But you see, intelligence and comprehension, application is important too.
Yeah.
And you have to have the subject for work with. Because so you're gonna know if whatever you were taught, you're able to execute it. So you can get that result.
You know, if you be something in a coach.
So me believe so once a man intelligent, he can read and write, comprehend. Because sometimes there are anomalies in certain situations or instances because some people don't have no levels. And you can't tell them nothing about coaching. You see what I say? They know if you prepare a team, they know if you prepare individuals and all of these things.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
But what I say, coach, is like, yeah, man, I cut it still. Yeah, what I say is though, you know, it's not necessarily say, oh, you have to be like the head coach of a team, you know. But you finish level 2 then, coach, and stuff. When you finish level 2, and you go say you want to be like a UEFA B license coach, then you go and volunteer or look at work with a coach with a team. So even if, for example, you finish CONCACAF C, so you suppose you can do up to CONCACAF C for me, I think, without an experience. So you finish CONCACAF C now, and you go on one side. You go to a team and you apply if you get. You come like a starter for the internship where you get. So them I tell you say, here you need 6 to 12 months experience in a practical environment before you can apply for the B. So that's where now.
And that makes sense. Because the B is a different level of the thing, you know.
Yeah, so for me, that's where I think that's how I would put it. So once you're done the C, we're going to say, all right, you get the C license. So now once put in a practical environment. How you can show what have you learned. How can you apply what you have learned in that course and put it to this practical environment from the 6 to 12 months. When you now apply now to the B license now, you have a practicum where you say, oh, basically for that 12-month period that you would have done, because it all falls into it in a coach. For example, like me, when I do the chartered exams, you have a 36-month period where in that I need a signature. Basically, I need to get a sign off from a chartered accountant to say, oh, these are the things that CC did, and these are the things that he did based on his qualification. He applied his theory or what he learned in the practical sense. So he did this. So his qualification plus the 36 month now would make me a chartered accountant. So without the 36 months in a coach, me can't get the certificate in it. We can't put the letter behind my name without the 36 months being rectified. So for me, you don't need a 6 to 12 months in a coaching environment. And then the coach where you work with, or the coach where you work with would have been a higher coach. And then when you are now done doing your B license, after you finish your B license, that coach could have signed off and say, yes, Unseen did 1 year with me. And these are the things that Unseen did. If I have 5 things what you need to do, these are the things that he did, and this is how he performed in those.
CC, we have Yui, UTech, Michael, GC Foster. Colleges and universities that are known for sports in Jamaica. Why is it that so difficult for JFF to get into these schools and put the programs in there so that we can teach the youngsters who aspire to become coach on a higher rate? Then we can, every year we are push out one. Say when them finish the college based on where them study, yeah. Some of them will come out with C, some will come out with B, who go further come out with A. Yeah. Why it can't be that way there? That's my question.
It's not that it can't be that way there. It's just that I think more persons have to pressure it. You have to pressure it. Like you have to have pioneers in getting it done. Because for me, even up to C, you should have it in at that level. You should have it at that level. And then you have to say, for example, just like you put it Unseen. See a person in the school system, because I know the college system, say it have 4 year. So basically in the 4 year, you can go up to like the B level. So for 3 years, you go C. Your final year, I work. You understand what I say? For 3 years, for the first 3 years, you will be qualified at the C level. When you finish, you have a C level qualification every day. When the 4th and final year now, your final year, you get a practicum. So for your final year, for the final entire year, you have to be working at school. So you have to be coaching, you have to be a part of one team where you have a qualified coach at that team, and you're under the supervision of that coach in your final year. And then after your final year finish now, you're graduating with a B license. You're graduating with a B license. And then you're going out in the world now, going to work, where you can go out, and then A license now, you go pursue. The A license is postgraduate. You understand what I say, coach? Like the B license is undergrad. After you graduate now, the A license is postgrad. So you come out of school now, you work, and you decide, say, boy, we need to get further qualification. So you go to boom now and go A license.
All right, so I'm going to say something to you now. You go GC Foster. You do a 2-year diploma and you specialize in football.
Yeah.
Yeah? You go a GC Foster, specialize in football again, your degree. All right? You go UTech, you specialize in you do masters, you specialize in football again. I think when you come out of that course that you're doing, still have to go back to school again, to get a CONCACAF license again, I think you only reach B.
And when you do them something that it become easy for you because you already have the knowledge, the requisite knowledge to go through. Because I saw the D license and the C license curriculum. See it? I can't believe.
The what? Which one I see?
C and D.
Them not easy, man.
Yeah, that me I tell you, man. coaching can't be
GC faster.
Coaching can't be only about that unseen.
No, that's what I said to you, say.
Psychology need to be involved in a coaching.
Remember how we learn it?
Biomotor, all of them something to be involved in
Sports
a coaching.
medicine.
Sports medicine.
Anatomy,
so that's why,
physiology.
Exactly. That's why GC Foster people where a course that's a GC Foster teachers them are coaches them a PE teacher. A garbage them attack because them know it more than who got them course to go learn something.
Hold on. Maybe they must say when they want to specialize in a particular sport where they are coach. They really them can't.
I must them one day. Once a man do football and major.
Him know him do.
But here we go.
In tougher than the man would just got the D and C license.
Here what the problem?
We can't vouch for that.
Here what the problem, coach? A lot of persons talk, but they don't understand. You have people go and do general degrees, like you do a general degree where you touch upon it. For example, I would digress. A person who do dentistry, you know, so the person who do dentistry first, basically, the person who do the person who become a surgeon does the same thing for the first couple of years, and then they go specialize in their field. So them learn the same thing. So as they rightfully say, if a man major in a football and you can vote for it, some other people don't know, then don't know. If you compare the curriculums and say, the man major in a football, his curriculum is far higher to the curriculum of the person we just do the C license, then that is where you need to set the C license. So you need to set the C license is comparative to the curriculum at GC Foster. For example, unseen, the curriculum ACCA of something, this is an account where you get exemption for those certain courses at UTech or UE. But they review the curriculum of those courses over a period of time. And then what they do is give accreditation to certain courses and say these courses are equivalent to our professional designated courses. So once you do those courses in your degree and then you go to your professional certification, you don't have to redo them because they are the same thing. You're just being taught by a different lecturer. So if you look on the GC Foster now, they should mirror the GC Foster thing to say, all right, this is what GC Foster has. All right, this is what we have. Come to an agreement with GC Foster and say, here what our curriculum is going to be set around this.
Curriculum bigger than that.
Yeah, say if a person does certain courses.
2 year. When I go GC first time abroad, if I do a diploma now, 2 year whatever.
Yeah, but I'm saying when I talk about diploma now, I talk about the degree.
Or associate degree at 2 years.
No, degree of 4 years.
Bachelor. That's what I mean. That's 4 years. I talk about the bachelors, man. Bachelors. So I'm not talking about to do the diploma. I say the bachelors should be the B license. Bachelors should be the B license. Isn't it?
It depends on where you're specializing in.
No, but watch out. No, that's what I say unseen. For example, if the B license have 7 courses, right? The bachelor's degree should have courses that are equivalent to those courses. So when you do it, when they review it, you have a platform where you're sending your transcript. When you send your transcript in, them can say, all right, you did this and this and this and this. You won't need to do this and this and this and this.
So CC, you know, so all them things that have to be sanctioned. All them things sanctioned by JFF, you know, bro.
Have a sanction.
Sanctioned by JFF.
Because what it is also a means of income, you'd say, for the football. So if they cut out persons who want to get that, who would have paid to get it done, then they would have been cutting off a source of income. So I guess that is one of the reasons. I think when Burrell was around, you know, all the persons who specialize in football with a first degree from GC Foster, they were exempted from the level 1 and they get straight level 2 certification.
But look on it like this now, coach.
So
Yeah,
they would have basically based on them degree and what they would have covered, they would have really surpassed whatever would have been done
or
in
what
level.
you could do, what the JFF could do is have a subscription thing. So you have the license, yes, but basically you pay an annual fee, subscription fee. So for example, like me, for the chartered accountant, I have to pay a fee every year to both the professional designation, which is ACCA, and I have to pay a fee to the local body, which represents them. So I have to pay two fee. so me I say for the JFF thing now, there could be a fee where you have to pay JFF. And so you have to pay that annually. But if you,
There's a
for example,
license fee.
says a licensing fee. But if you are coaching, say I coach CCFC, me I coach CCFC. CCFC now would just pay the licensing fee for me annually because they want my services and them know me have a license. So they have to pay that fee there for me. But JFF will still get their fee every year. So imagine JFF have 500 licensed coach. In order for you, anywhere you're going to roll in a coach, you have to pay JFF same way, So if you're the Canada coach, you still have to pay JFF your licensing fee every year to make sure say, oh, your license is not revoked. But if you're a coach for your team at Canada, the team at Canada, because the more if you coach them, would pay your fee on your behalf. So I say, oh, they have other ways to still make money out of it. But if they align the courses in such a way where you can give accreditation to like GC Fast and them thing there, you're still not gonna take away the income. What you do, you replace the income. So instead of you getting a license and you pay one money, you have an annual fee. Say if the annual fee unseen one be $100 US, where each coach have to go pay $100 US to keep them license every year. And the license. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. Rather than you have to go pay JFF to do some course. And you would have already done similar courses at GC faster.
But Mark, as I said, Mr. Minzy said, you look on some of the courses, and one is easy. Yeah, coach, let's call himself big coach in Jamaica, feel, more than one time.
Yeah, and probably it's easy because I am acquainted with the material. You get what I say?
Even a deal like see them, big football player. But I say, all right, the man play, the man go overseas. You must have a international knowledge of the game. Yeah.
But then
sometimes a lot of
knowledge
players
is one in the
play.
unseen, but then again,
A lot of players play,
intellectual
but
capacity.
in terms of a transfer that knowledge into coaching, because remember it's a different realm, Knowing about the game is different from knowing about coaching,
I feel like the lecture wicked to me. I feel like the lecture wicked to me too. Yeah, I feel like this man. And then now,
you're acquainted with it.
Yeah, man. So
then now, the here said the BLIS consists of planning. You make your cycle, and that once you go GC faster, planning.
But so your periodization,
right?
Your macro cycle, your mesocycle, your microcycle.
Yeah, why I check to it now. So a lot of people. As I said, that's why January really mash up enough people like schoolboy thing there. Because we really have a benchmark on that. But enough of the coaches them feel because they write on schoolboy football plan. Instead of a professional football plan. They can't write a professional yearly 9 months, 10 months.
9 months plan. But once you're able to write the short plan, you should be able to extend it, The only thing you need to add more components at the plan, So if you are
competition phase that go longer.
Exactly. Your preparation period are longer. Your specific period your preparation period would be probably the one where are gonna be lengthen. Your different cycles them where you go interject what you do each day in the microcycle. It kind of it gonna take more when you have to stretch it, yes. But once you in football and you start right, Jade, you know enough time me a coach and I see some youth to do something and I say, you know, so me need to come up with a drill that can help them to do that. And bam, one drill just coming on my head right away. I'm gonna set up some cone and make them do it based on what me want them to achieve.
The objective.
Yeah.
Born about with the talent, man.
Yeah, man. Hey,
about the talent.
Drills and ideas can just pop out of my head.
In your head.
Yeah.
On the day actually. Based on your objective. But they might try teach you for write your plan, though, your daily plan.
Yeah, man. Planning is and that is what is cause you have probably a general objective and then you have a specific objective where you need to achieve in a period in that specific session.
Yeah.
Right. So of course planning in coaching is very important. Logging and all of them something is very important because when you put these things together, you're gonna know where your team is and what sort of improvement you need to do.
You can reflect, you can go back and look.
Exactly. So coaches can just come on top of their head sometime and just bam. Just a coach. All right, we have to crossing today. Why you have to crossing?
Why you have to crossing?
We're gonna work on this today.
Operating preparation, by the way.
Exactly.
Which part of the cycle you're there?
And there's a peaking coming. You understand? So you might see some teams start out slow.
And the next thing too.
And them not sharp and them things.
The next thing too. In the course, they not teach you fitness. Like fitness generally.
You know, so I ask something about that and him say, because I think me did ask Miranda that question and he must say, because how football is moving right now, the one individual, the coach alone is not trained or taught encompass all of that era. So you're gonna know say when you're going to head coach position, you're gonna want your fitness person. So you now have to do that. You're gonna want your whatever, your this, your that. So you now have to do that. So your aim is just to focus on the planning itself.
But means it
instead of something there.
But means the head coach must have an idea. Because I remember, when Donovan Ducky failed with the Under 23 team. What was his thing with him said?
Remind
me. I'm a fitness coach. I mean, I don't want you work with Donovan Ducky when they do fitness drill them. No wonder all the team are fit.
But he's not doing the drill make a team fit unseen. Remember by this cycle,
I know.
you know.
But him have the know-how. Him have the know-how.
And I can tell you, a lot of people can copy people drill and this and that, but why them do it? You don't know why them do it. So
no, that's why I'm calling YouTube coach.
You have to do. They don't know enough people will copy people program. But why then do it? You don't know. Which part of phase I training them that you don't know. You have to know these things. You have to know if you write a program. You get what I say?
Program important. Write a program is very important. But you want to think now, a lot of people don't really have, I would say, drills. Them know if you break down the drills, them and find out what the outcome, what the objective of the drills. So when them going at them course, them kind of limited. You understand what I say? Limited. So first thing you have to know in a football, you have to know the different phases. Yeah? Right? And them change it up too. So them not use build-up play again. People still talk about build-up play, but you have attacking your own half. Yeah? Defending your own half, attacking opponents half, defending opponents half. So based on those things would be the broad topic, and your objective would come after that. Depending on the age group where you teach, yeah, you have a time period where you teach from. You start out with your physical work, physical technical work, yeah. Because, you know, physical can work with the ball. Now, there comes the coach now where everybody I get now, we say a fitness coach, some gym man them. We really know about football.
Yeah. Because most of the fitness where you do now, you have to do it to the ball, you know.
Yeah, because that's
They get
specific.
them.
Football is
Yeah.
specific. But a lot of these coaches do fitness, they don't know how to incorporate the ball with it. A lot of people don't know you have two type of fitness in football. You need to go in. You have the base fitness, you have match fitness. Some people feel like match fitness come by playing only match.
No, that a match sharpness.
Yeah, match fitness come from match fitness drills. Yeah, but what I say is the physical coach should know about football as well, not just physical development alone.
Yeah.
You're supposed to incorporate technical work in it. I might have a little tactical as well.
Anyways, we have come to the end of the show now. We said 3 hours gone for the clock and we want to cut off the show right now. So big up to Unseen, big up to CC, big up to Cranky, big up to Kishan, big up to Chevron, all the people that came on to make the show, you know, nice and dandy. Big up to all the people in the comment section. Unseen, look like we need to start talk some more football on the program them, you know, because although people they don't like it, football talk, you know.
We have Miguel Cole tomorrow for Unseen Sports in interview 1 o'clock.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to hear from the gaffer what a diploma in coaching now. Asian diploma license.
Yeah, man.
Coaching. So we hear from the gaffer tomorrow at 1 o'clock, people. So stay tuned. Unseen Sports, Devonport, and make sure you're over there. Yeah?
All
I am
right.
sure sports.
Bless up on yourself, people. Until next time, stay safe. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.